Okay. We're live at the moment, so step one has been achieved. For those of you watching this as a recording, this is pre-broadcast. This is 6:43 p.m. This is about 15 minutes before the stream is set to start. I did this just to make sure in case anything blows up in my face or, that the stream was, laggy or something, I would have time to fix it before the stream sets proper. So that would explain things. All right, now, I want to check to make sure that I am streaming right now. Okay, that's step one achieved. Okay, good. That's always good. All right, you never know with Google. Google has the potential to, what's the word I'm thinking of? Oh, yeah, blowing up in your face royally. So there's that. But anyway, welcome to the Sternritter, the Quincy Alphabet Contest winners. I keep looking over here because this is where I'm used to my camera being. It's right in front of me. So yeah, this is the beginning of the stream. I just want to ask anybody that's currently in the stream right now if I'm okay. I know there is a lag whenever it comes to Google Hangouts, but what I'm more concerned about right now is, can you hear me okay? Is the audio fine? Is the visuals fine? I've done many things to try to optimize this. I can tweak the what's going on? Something's going on here. All right, my computer just like jittered a little bit there. Let me, okay, I'm not like running anything right now, so there shouldn't be any reason why it would do that, but I'm a little bit whatever. But okay, so yeah, just let me know there, because it sucks because there's really no other way I could do this. I could make a video about it and then just upload the video normally, but that would be probably over a 2-hour video. I'd have to break into multiple parts, and I'm just thinking I would prefer to just do it in one big thing, you know what I mean? And this would be the best way to do it with a stream, because I can do a solid, I could just stream solid like 2 hours, and then it's uploaded to YouTube automatically. I don't have to worry about rendering, and I don't have to worry about anything like that. But the problem is, if this doesn't work, we're kind of fucked, because I could do it over like YouNow or something, but then we'd all have to jump ship to that. And there's already 50 people in here, so I can imagine. So let's check out the comments. Yeah. Just making sure everyone can hear me okay. Everything looks good to me. Okay, good. Greetings from Europe. Everything is okay. All right, good. Europe's all right. We're online in Europe. We're online in Europe. Little did they know, I'm planning on taking over the world with my intercontinental ballistic missiles. This contest was just a front, just to do the uplink, and then it's like Skynet. Like Skynet makes you think like, oh yeah, we're a defense system. Link all your computers together into one server, and and then it takes over the world. So yes, this was just a front. I'm actually working with the CIA. Yes, it's an in-depth plan. Okay, well, looks like we're online. Couple of things to announce before we get started. The first thing, I've already mentioned this, but in case you're just joining with me, this is all going to be recorded. So if it's really late where you are, I know there was some concerns. People were asking me, like, Tekking, it's going to be like 3 a.m. when you broadcast in Belgium or whatever. It's cool. You don't have to stay up late to watch me, because this stream is probably going to be on the long side. And it's going to be recorded. I don't know how long it's going to take to upload to YouTube, but it will assuredly be uploaded to YouTube, so don't worry about that. Also, it might actually be beneficial to wait until it's uploaded in case you can't, because what's going to happen is throughout this video, I'm going to take little notes of the time codes. Like when I start talking about Sternritter A and who won A, I'm going to write down the time code. So when I upload it to YouTube, I can go in and I can, like in the description, I can have a little list. So if you don't want to look through all the single entries, like let's say I was like, oh, well, I was entry S. I just want to see if S won. So I'm going to put it all in a list, and you can oh, there's the time code. I can click on it and go and watch it. There you go. So I'm doing that. Time code is right now 354. Oh, that's going to be, okay, that's going to be tricky, because there's a little bit of a lag here. I'll make it work somehow. I'll make it work somehow. You guys are awesome. You guys could help me out with that maybe. Like when I start talking about Sternritter A, let me know of the time code it is when where you're at, so I can write it down. So there was something else I wanted to talk about. Oh yes, there will be additional videos after this. This is not going to be just the only video. I received a grand total of 511 entries. 511. I know, right? That's crazy. That was beautiful, though. That was absolutely marvelous. I love you guys so much. That is, I think about, I don't want to say double than the Zanpakuto contest, because I received about 350 entries for the Zanpakuto contest, but that's still way more than any contest. The best turnout for any contest I've ever done. Maybe because this time I actually offered money. Maybe that's the reason. But no, there was a lot of people that sent me messages like, oh, I don't care about the prize. I was just happy to do this. So after this video, there will be an additional videos. There will be one video where I just go on the honorable mentions and I talk about them. And then there's going to be another video in which I talk about the art, where I have like a little art gallery where all I do is I showcase all the artwork that I received. I don't really have a time, like a release date planned for those videos. They're more of just like I get them done when I get them done sort of deal. The art gallery is probably going to be a standard video because I received a lot of artwork, but the artwork that's really good probably can be limited down to about maybe 30, possibly about 30, 40 really good artwork. There was some art that was just, here's the thing. When I say good artwork, I don't mean like people send me in shitty artwork. I mean that some of the artwork that was included was not their own drawing. They just included, like they took a drawing off of Google and they said, hey, this isn't my art. This isn't me drawing, but this is what my Sternritter would look like if he, you know, was designed. This is what I would do. So I might not include some of them because they're not their real drawings. Those are just the things that they associated it with. So if you cut those out, I probably only have like 30 or 40, but that will be a traditional video most likely. The honorable mentions might be another live stream like what I'm doing right here, because that once again will probably be a lot of stuff to talk about, something I don't want to, you know, compress into this one video here. All right, let me just check over the comments here. It's 1 a.m. here. What about you guys? You're the best, Tekking. I got lucky to find out when you're streaming. Is this live? No, it's not live. Sorry, I'm a robot. Hey, Tekking, first time in a stream with you. I don't know how often you do so, but it's still a first time for me. Yeah, I do these like kind of semi-random. On a side note, I would like to see you review this chapter, but what did you think about you? Oh, that's something else. Yeah, the derp eyes. Well, you just watch my video and you find out what I like about the derp eyes. Just give me 2 seconds here. I just wanna do this. // watch. What I'm going to be doing, by the way, in terms of reading them off, I save them all on my, I have like 26 folders for my email, and I have an additional folder where I put all the winners in. So what I basically did is I just dumped all the winners in that one folder, and I'm just going to go and read their emails off one by one. Now, I received a decent amount of entries that were very long. So just for the sake of, you know, saving time, I'm not going to read every single line of every single entry. I'm just going to glance over the main reasons why I picked it and, you know, the cool aspects of the power, the aspects I thought were really cool, shit like that. And then that's another thing, too. 511 entries, but on the same time, I didn't really not all of them are the same length, of course. Some of them were only a paragraph long. Others were only like a sentence long. And others were, they sent me Word documents that were like 3, 4, 5, 6 pages plus long. So that's a reason. It was, you know, much easier to sift through all these than it was with the original Zanpakuto contest, because this one I could break up into 26 different categories, and it was just a lot more simplistic. You know, I could go in and just be like, oh, maybe I just only feel like judging the D's or the F's today, and I'll do the other ones, you know, another day. What other fun facts can I do before I start this? Because we're not technically started yet. The most letters I received was S. That should come as no surprise to anyone. S is the most prominent letter in the alphabet in terms of words for it in the English language anyway. I think there were 49 entries for S. 49. And the one I picked for it, it's one of the more out there ones. I mean, there's some here that I picked that might seem very basic when compared to anime. Like, oh, okay, yeah, that's happened before in anime, or there's very similar techniques to that in anime. But there's other techniques that I picked that are somewhat out there, and S is certainly one that is somewhat out there. So look forward to that. I'm really happy I'm getting to do this. Like, you can't tell. Do I have this big shit-eating grin on my face right now? I'm so happy. This was like my pet project. Let me tell you a little story before we get into it legitimately, because we don't start until 7. Yes, there will be one winner for each letter. Some people ask me, can I do like Sternritter Y, like Lloyd and Roy? They have the 2 people for 1 letter. You were allowed to do that, and I said so in one of my update videos. But I think only like 2 people took advantage of that. But maybe not even 2. I think it was only just 1 guy, maybe. I'm not sure, but there's just going to be 1 winner for each letter. But let me tell you a little story. So when I was in college this previous semester, I had a night class that I had to take. And the night class was a class called Franciscan Goals. I go to a university that was named after St. Francis University. It's a Catholic school. I'm not Catholic, but I attended simply because it's very close to my house. They have the program I was looking for. Very nice atmosphere, beautiful campus. It had everything I needed. So why should I care whether or not I'm Catholic or not? I'm going to go to it because it's an awesome school, and it is. So while I was in this 3-hour class on religion studies, basically, your mind tends to wander. Like, you're supposed to be paying attention, taking notes, but there's only so much of that you can do in a span of 3 hours. So, of course, inevitably, I would start to doodle in my book. And I was at first, I think one of the first things I doodled was the letters of the Sternritter, like the precursor to the Sternritter board, basically, where I would draw like little letters, you know, and stuff like that. No, I guess that wouldn't be the precursor to the Sternritter board, because I started doing that in July, but you know what I mean. I would just draw like the heat, the jail, the knowledge, the love, whatever. And eventually I started coming up with my new Sternritter ideas, and I started thinking like, wait, that would be a really cool idea. So I started drawing up so that led to me drawing up the rules. And this religion class, I only had it once a week, but in this religion class, I would take like 15, 20 minutes out of this religion class to doodle like these rules for this contest. And I started I spent about a month or so just tweaking it and figuring out what I really wanted to do and what I wanted the prizes to be and everything. And yeah, that's how it went. How do I comment on this? You should be able to comment on this directly on the main video as on YouTube. If you're watching this on YouTube, which I don't think you'd be watching this on Google+, although I think there is a way you can do that. If you're watching this on regular YouTube, then just post like a normal YouTube video, and I'll have to keep refreshing the chat, because that's another issue with Google Hangouts, is the chat's a little bit but it can be done. And let's just hope that my internet doesn't die. I'm praying that doesn't happen. I'm really, really praying it doesn't happen. Oh man, that would just ruin everything. But yeah, before we get started with this, I just want to everyone let you know that, you know, all of your entries were very welcome, and you got creative. Everybody got together here and they let their imagination go crazy. Imagination, not in the sucky Grammy Tommy way, but in the cool way. And it was really warming and it made me so giddy to, you know, look through all these entries and just find out that like everybody cares enough to send in the letter to me, but also they cared enough to really put effort into their characters. And that was the most toughest thing to do, because you'd have let's take one. I'm not even going to use a letter as an example, but you'd have like one letter where people, this isn't a Catholic necklace. It's not a Catholic necklace. It's not a Christian cross. So boom. I love it when people do that. I have another cross too. It's a cross Patier. It's based on the Teutonic Knights. And everyone's like, you're not Catholic, but why are you wearing a cross? Like, it's not a Christian cross. Do you know how many cross imageries there are? But no, I'd have like a letter where I'd have like 3 or 4 entries, and you could tell that people spent days on these entries. You could tell they spent so much of their time trying to figure out, you know, trying to write down the powers and the design of Sternritter, coming up with names for powers, coming up with names for volt standings, coming up with outfits and designs, which you didn't even have to do that, but I did welcome it. And you could tell, like I get like 5 or 6 entries in one letter, and I had to only pick one. And that was really hard to do because I know there's going to be people out there. I mean, I've been in contests before, and I put a lot of time into it, but so does everyone else. So that's what you kind of have to just accept. But that's why I'm doing the honorable mention video. That's why I'm trying to get as many of your entries on the spotlight. I'm trying to give you all an option on the stage as much as possible. I mean, I simply won't be able to get all 511 on stage, but I'm going to try to get as many as possible. But here we go. It's about 7 o'clock now, so let me just take a drink. I have 2 drinks at the ready. I have my bottled water. I have some iced tea here. I have some peppermint patties over there. So I think I'm going to lock my door. Christmas lights. Okay. All right, guys. Are you ready for this? Is your body ready? Are you ready for this fucking shit? 2 months in the making. Come on. Wait, hold on. Do we have a soundbite for this? We need a soundbite for this. Hold on. This might... I shouldn't play this, but whatever. Let's do this. Yes! You ready? Yeah! 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 Okay. All right, let's do this. The Quincy Alphabet Contest. The first letter. Sternritter A. Now, just to fuck up with the intensity there. The big question with Sternritter A was, should this be the leader of the Sternritter? The way that I designed it anyway, the way I looked at this contest was that Yuha is still around, and he still gave them these powers. And some of the entries did specifically say, the power I was granted by His Majesty, blah, blah, blah. So Yuha still is around. It's just like, you know how he's letter A, and he's like the master of the Sternritter, but then, you know, Uryu's also letter A, so, and then B, C, D. So there could still be a letter A that doesn't involve Yuha. So I didn't view the letter A as the leader of the Sternritters, but I did view it as somebody that should have a very unique power, someone that should be certainly worthy of receiving the first letter. So, with that being said, Sternritter A is The Awakening, sent in by Bharat Kayash Wakahisa. Sorry, that wasn't the name that sent it in. That was the Sternritter's name. Sorry, I'm going to try to get that. I hope I don't get that mixed up. But the name of the individual, Sternritter A, The Awakening, Bharat Kayash Wakahisa. Now, that might sound like very out there, and I wish I could show you these, but I can't. But the designer of this is Dark Beetlebot, a.k.a. Lucy, sent this in to me. And the reason for that kind of far out there name, by the way, keep in mind, a lot of these names are German for obvious reasons. The Sternritters, the Quincy's are designed after, you know, Germans, despite the fact that many of the current Sternritters in the series are not named Germans. But the name here makes sense, and that's going to make sense in a couple of seconds when I read to you this power. So in terms of physical appearance, Sternritter A, The Awakening, is sexless. It does not have a gender. The species is Satori. You might see, some of you might know where I'm going with this. And the Sternritter ability for The Awakening is the manipulation of the state of mind. This is basically a Buddhist-based power. The character itself is based heavily upon Buddhism. Buddhists aim to reach for something called Satori. And I'm not going to sit here and explain to you all the different levels of Buddhism, but I thought it would be a very interesting thing for the A slot to be this kind of, it doesn't have a gender, it's just a being that has basically achieved enlightenment, you know, and that's what this character is. Burhat has a rather simple but enigmatic and symbolic appearance. They usually wear a white kayasa, monk-like robe, and a kasa, type of Asian hat. Yes, I know what a kasa is. That's what Shunsui wears. That's a kasa. So white robe, white kasa hat. Let's see. This includes a piece of clothing. Okay. He is bald, has a small but visible breast hang out of the robe, and lack nipples. Okay, let's just go sexless. Let's just go with this. And so that's just the appearance. But the Buddhist background goes heavily into how they basically. I'm assuming they achieve like basically nirvana. You know, because like Buddhist is like that's the highest level of like achieving nirvana. And the thing is, I can tell the person that designed this either was heavily into, like, is a Buddhist or heavily into Buddhist teachings, because they go into very explicit detail on explaining all these different paths of Buddhism. They're the great joy, stainless, luminescence, radiant, very difficult to train, obviously transcendent, gone afar and immovable, all the ways of Bodhisattva. And I mean, this isn't a real, I'm not going to turn this into a religious class, so let me just go to explain the Quincy powers in general, explain exactly what this means. The powers given to Beirut greatly increase its options in multiple situations. Instead of simply being able to speak through others and read their hearts beforehand, Beirut can look deeper and memorize others' memories and sometimes copy them in tangible form. An example would be memorizing Ichigo's Getsuga Tensho and then using it despite not having its Sangetsu. Granted, it would have a greatly reduced or exaggerated power depending on how the memory is read. Readings of lesser quality have much more extreme and inaccurate recollections. Aside from this enhanced power, Beirut's spiritual pressure is both immense and nothing. It cannot be detected by most living or non-living things, poses no living threat to any living beings, but is still present. This corresponds to, he was comparing that to a Buddhist principle. Its spiritual pressure exerts no fear, paralysis, pain, or others, but it can calm others to a degree. So I treated this individual as more of like, kind of like a Soul King type deal, how it's sort of like a, not less than a human being, clouded by emotion, and more of just an object sort of deal that can read your mind. And if you try to attack it, it would be kind of just like standing still and just like repulse the power, and it can like memorize it to a degree and use it back at you, and just, you know, just this more of a figurehead, I should say, more of just a figurehead where it's not the kind of person that's going to, you know, charge into battle, you know, first. It's going to be the kind of individual that just stays abstract. And I know it might sound a bit confusing starting this off with this kind of entry, but considering the fact that I wanted A to be unique, and this is certainly very unique, it makes total sense to me anyway. The remaining powers are going to be much more clear cut. They're going to be much more, for the most part, they're going to be very easily understood and whatnot. So don't think that, you know, they all have to be that in depth for, you know, Buddhist teachings or anything. But I always thought that was a very interesting entry they went into there. It does have a Volt standing. The hat disappears and is replaced by a lotus flower. Lotus flowers are another symbol of Buddhism. Additional powers. So yeah, basic. Okay, here in Kyaku, just it has blue, but also Tengai. You know, that was basically going into all the different Quincy abilities here. General weaknesses. I didn't say you had to send in weaknesses, so don't freak out if you didn't. Inability to kill. Beirut cannot kill. Despite his power, he cannot kill any living thing that is not pure evil incarnate. So basically an extreme, you know, he's pure goodness, can't fight pure, I mean, can't kill anything that's except pure unmitigated evil, you know, evil in its purest form. So stuff like that. Yes, so that's that. But yeah, very interesting first one. So, let me just check to see if everyone's still watching. Oh wait, don't start with this. Just started watching. You're not Sternritter A. I know, right? Crazy. Oh man. Oh, we already have somebody spamming the shit out of this, so that's always plusy. Okay, so that's that. All right. So now we begin and I just figured out what I'm going to do with you don't have to send me in the time codes. What I'm basically going to do is I'll just have to go back in and rewatch this and just figure out the time codes as I rewatch it, because that'll be easier, because with the lag, I'm not sure. 150 people in here right now. Okay, I better get down to it. This shit's getting intense. All right, so that's Sternritter A. Let's move it on to Sternritter B. Okay, let me just make sure I don't get the names of the people that sent this in to the names of the Sternritter mixed up here. Okay. All right, this individual did... Okay, here we go. This individual is Sternritter B, the Blood. Very common name, but I'm getting there. Sternritter B, the Blood, Nina Redwing. That is her name, Nina Redwing. It was sent in by Everflames, and as you could probably imagine, she is female. Appearance, average height, young and youthful appearance, shoulder length, scarlet colored hair, dark brown eyes. You know, that's everything I have to mention really quick. But surprisingly, you know, I was very proud of you guys. The ones that sent me in female characters, even the ones that were designed by males that sent me in female characters, did not go crazy with the sexual, like the over sexualized appearances. Now, that's not to say that nobody sent me in characters that were like, oh, she has big boobs. Some of them did. She has a nice ass, whatever. But you know, I was worried that more people would do it than that happened, and they didn't treat them like, you know, like I was like, oh man, she has great tits, so you know she can use those to distract her opponent. You know, none of people did that, so I'm glad. I'm proud of you guys. Okay, well, anyway, okay, so she has the abilities of the blood. Nina is able to use her script to infuse her reishi into blood chakrams in order to perform her techniques. So her spirit weapon is, you know, how some people did this, like the Quincy's have bows. Her abilities are basically to condense her blood into chakrams. Chakrams are basically what Apache used. You know, one of Holly Bell's Fraxion, how her Zanpakuto were those like things she holds, like the circles. Also, Kuromadani's Zanpakuto release. That is also a chakram. 2 red circular-shaped chakrams with hex inner shaped with spikes protruding at each point. These are carried on Nina's back at all times and are physical manifestations of her power. These are able to be controlled telekinetically after being thrown. They can also be able to shoot out holy arrows from each of these hexes points. So basically like a buzzsaw, but when you throw it, she can also like move it with her mind, and she can also shoot arrows out of them. So basically it is awesome. As for the blood control, once Nina's reishi or her blood has made contact with another person, this is usually achieved by using the chakrams to, you know, infuse her blood with theirs. She's able to freely control the blood within their body. Now, here's the thing. When I first read this before continuing, I immediately thought, this is blood bending. This is blood bending from Avatar. You know, she gets her blood in her blood, and then, you know, you can, like, manipulate your character. This is why I picked this character, and I'm going to read it to you right now. This is why I did this. This is what makes her unique. Okay. So on top of she said you can freely control the blood in their body. You can manipulate she can manipulate, I should say. She can manipulate the temperature, the type of blood, the density, the quantity, and the blood flow. This is her most powerful ability, I would think so. Nina can also use this ability on herself and manipulate her own blood to enhance her blood abilities and create new ones. So, whereas in Avatar, blood bending is just, you know, manipulating your opponent like a puppet, like bending the water in the blood in order to make you move, this ability is actually free reign over the blood itself. She could use this ability and reduce your blood flow, and you could you could drop. On the other hand, if she gets cut or something, she could be like, oh, well, I'm going to reduce, you know, blood pressure so in my right arm so I don't bleed out as much or I don't bleed out as fast. You know, stuff like that. That's a really cool idea. Now, because she has the ability of the blood, of course, her main abilities would be Blut Vein. So she has mastery over Blut Vein and Blut Artery, but she also created another technique. This is Blut Vein Rejuvenation. A new Blut technique developed by Nina using her script, made to support allies. Nina is able to infuse reishi into her allies in order to greatly increase an ally's healing, such as closing up wounds, by adding her own reishi into the bloodstream along with her allies, greatly increasing their recovery rate. So, support. That's a very good idea in a rejuvenation. So she can use her Blut ability that can heal others, which is really cool. She also has blood form change assault. Nina can dissolve her 2 chakrams into her armor and then use the blood that made up the chakrams and armor to form a pole arm or a spear. So this is basically her ultimate attack form. You know, she makes a spear out of the blood, strongest attack form, and then she has, on the opposite side of that, she has a form called armor, which is the exact same thing except makes armor out of it. So basically what we're talking about here is we have like an evolution of Blut Artery. Blut Artery is the attacking Blut. So she can evolve that into the ultimate like attacking stance with like a spear. And then she has Blut Vein, which is the defensive Blut, which she can evolve into an actual armor to be worn. That is like the evolution of the defensive technique. So I thought that was a pretty damn cool ability. I hope you do as well. So thank you very much to Everflames for sending me in Sternritter B. We are already 15 minutes into this, and we've already covered 2. So what's the ratio for that? We're still... I was planning on this lasting for 2 hours, maybe 3. I'm fucking be here a while, guys. Oh, man. Okay. By the way, I should have mentioned this at the beginning. The winners for this, I'm going to announce at the very end. And the winners are going to be emailed to me by tomorrow at some point. Tomorrow, my time zone tomorrow. So yeah, if you don't get the entry like right now, or if you haven't gotten it yet, don't freak out. I didn't want to surprise anyone before it was announced. Okay, so let me just read some of these comments here. Those chakrams seem to have access to Leah's chakrams from Kingdom Hearts appearance. I love this one. Tekking, why did you now tell me you're live streaming? I sent out a video 9 hours ago saying this was going to happen. You had 9 hours to figure this out. So yeah. Okay, so moving on to question. I'm losing it already. Going on to Sternritter C. All right. Sternritter C is once again a female. Don't freak out. I didn't pick all girls. I mean, if I was Yuha Bach and I had to choose like an elite army, I probably would pick mostly girls, but I didn't do that. So we have this one being sent by Leo, and I'm not sure if it's a man or a female, but her name is Leo. They wanted to go by. This is Sternritter C, the Conqueror. And the name of the Conqueror is Lenora Poultry. Poultry is Latin, and it stands for conquering. I know, not very creative. It's okay. Your name, you didn't have to have a name, so it's all right. I think 1 or 2 of these don't actually have names, by the way. Okay, Sternritter C is a female Sternritter with the name Lenora Poultry, who has the power of conquering land in the enemy's territory. Through pure manpower and, of course, through ability of conquering, she has the name of the normal Quincy soldiers. I picked this one as C because where we have A, Sternritter A is, like, as I said, an abstract concept, a being that's achieved enlightenment, and as A stated, that's not the person that's going to combat, directly facing combat. So if that's combat, and with B, is focusing on the like it has the rejuvenation powers and healing and everything, and defensive, I thought it would be cool to have C as like the main attacking force. This is going to be the person who has the very prime, like the abilities solely designed on killing and attacking and conquering, as it were. So that's why I decided to give that power to C. For the Conqueror, appearance. Lenoris is 5 feet 7 inches tall, has the look of a 27-year-old woman. Hair is purple and red in color. Both sides of her head are shaved, but the left side is covered by her long hair. She actually sent a drawing for this. I should, you know what I should have done? I should have had, I think I do have this one up. Wait for it. Please tell me I do. I don't have her, really. All right, hold on 2 seconds here. I'll try to pull this up for you guys. I should have the drawings on hand. That's 1,000,001 things I planned for today, and that's the one thing I forget. To have the drawings ready. Who's to bet my throat's going to be completely shot after this? This guy right here. Bam, bam, bam. I'm humming a song to skill the time. I'm prepared, apparently, to do this. Might have gotten a little bit blurry there, but just ignore that. I'm just going to leave this page open for later on. Although I did save a lot of these images, like the best drawing I have, like ready to go. It's all queued up and ready to show you guys. Don't crash on me, you son of a bitch. Don't do it. All right, here we are. There we go. Okay, now I can show you guys. I'm going to do a screen share here. I hope you guys can see this. There are probably tons of female Sternritters. Honestly, no. I think the majority was male. I mean, it was not a huge majority. It wasn't like such a big, you know, unbalanced thing, but there were a decent number of females, decent number of males as well. All right, so I'm going to share my screen here with you guys, and I'm going to show you this. So there we go. That's Sternritter C, Lenora Poultry, which I'm probably mispronouncing. That's the Conqueror. Pretty cool design. She's got like the Candace Catnip kind of halter midriff exposing top there. But as you can see, she's not like overly sexualized, so which I love. I like the cool regal cape she's sporting. She's got sort of like a headgear microphone thing there with her volt standing halo and wings behind her. So there's that. And I will keep this one open in case I need to do this again. Okay. So continuing. So yeah, we saw her appearance. Also, another thing too, a lot of people sent in was like their relationship with other people in the Von Reich. Some of them specifically mentioned, like here they mentioned like her relationship with Hashwolf. Hashwolf, of course, doesn't exist within the Sternritter, so you know, whatever. But that's their backstory. If they want to write a fan fiction or something about their characters, go right ahead. It's just that Hashwolf doesn't exist within the confines of this. The Quincy's that respect her call her the commander, and she's the one that despises her call her the control freak. So the ones that don't like her call her the control freak. Okay, she's cold and collected, cold-hearted, controlling, calculating, arrogant, loves the attention of other Quincy's, likes to see how people kneel before her, and has a obsession for victory. Everything is a game, and you need to win. She will kill you immediately if you make her angry. She gets crazy if she loses control over a fighting situation. Okay, so her ability, is this the one with the knives? There was one with, okay. You wouldn't believe how many Sternritters had like a zone or like range-based ability. Like I can control everything in this range. There was a shit ton like that. Her spiritual power and the pressure of her Ryatsu are enormous, even if she is not using high-ranking Quincy abilities. But this amount of power is also necessary in order to use her Volt standing. Because of this, she needs to even she even stores reishi in the red stones of her armor, which function as some sort of reishi container. Okay, here it is. Here it is. The conquering. Here it gets. Okay. Oh yeah, here it is. The one with the knives. Okay. So what she does to activate her ability, the conquering, she lays out a bunch of these knives on the battlefield that she wants to control. And the soldiers of the Von Reich can also do this for Lenora, so they can like place knives around. So they have to have these knives or these daggers in the ground in order for her ability to function. And there's no limitation when it comes to the size of the arena. However, if it's bigger, the more Ryatsu is needed to use it. She needs to mark the conquered ground before she can use its resources. This needs a lot of tactical thinking and planning. Yeah, it's just getting the daggers out could be a problem in its own thing. She cannot control the reishi in her bloodstream, but she can transfer her own Ryatsu into the ground to control the essence of her environment. In this context, her whole surroundings are her bloodstream. For example, she transfers her own Ryatsu into the ground. The ground takes the shape of what she wants it to have. She can pierce the enemy with sharp columns consisting out of the earth. So she can basically manipulate the ground around her. That's basically how this goes. However, it's not limited to just the earth. She can control earth, steel, wood, water, air. Water and the air are the most difficult to control because they cost a lot of power, but they are the most effective when it comes to attacking the enemy. Makes sense. There's not a lot of elementals. You know how, like in the Sternritter, we have Basby who can just manipulate, you know, fire. We have Kangdu who can just manipulate iron. You know, I don't have a lot of pure in elementals because I mostly find them kind of boring. You know, like Basby's personality is cool. His power, on the other hand, is just he's the fire guy. That's it. He has to be the fire guy. There's a few that I threw in that can use multiple elements here. Every element has a weakness. Wood is okay. Now you're just going into, you know, wood is weak against fire. Earth is weak against water. Blah blah blah. An ability called Invasion. Lenora can transfer her Ryatsu to her soldiers to strengthen their bodies. They become stronger, faster, more durable. Okay, so that's an idea. She's the conquering. So if their soldiers are in her domain, she can make them, you know, get up, you fuckers, and fight. You know, that sort of thing. That just takes up more energy for her. She will be in her Volt standing. She gains golden armor with her red coat still over it. Her Volt standing, she has 4 big wings that look exactly like her wings. Okay, I see what she's doing here. She's the strongest and most devastating technique that is called Complete Uber-Anhami, Complete Takeover. So she basically is a combination of the invasion technique and Sclavere.
She rams her saber into the ground and transfers her Rietsu into the environment while absorbing the reishi that's not hers of the Soul Society. So that's if she was fighting in the Soul Society. You have to imagine the battlefield like a spider web. Lenora, the spider, is in the middle, and her strings are the Rietsu connections. So yeah, she's like in the middle of the battlefield, and then that branches off into the different sections depending on like where the like how far the daggers go, and then she can manipulate her soldiers, kind of like a spider net sort of deal. I would love see. This is one of those instances I would love to read through her whole thing, but you know we got a stream to do, so I'm not going to do that. But that is Sternritter C, the Conqueror. So there is that. I have to figure out. See, I don't want to piss anyone off. I don't want to like only read like a paragraph of your entry, but we got things to do here, so I gotta continue. You know, I gotta get this done. If you know, I spent like because some of these entries are pages long. That one was I think 3 or 4 pages long. But yeah, I chose her for that reason. I figured combat. We needed a combat-centric Sternritter there. Can someone tell me who A and B is? There's going to be a bunch of people that are just going to join this stream and that are going to miss out on a bunch of them. Sadly, there's nothing I can do about that. I can't, you know, I can't go back in time and reiterate everything I just said. You're just going to have to wait until either somebody's going to have to tell you, or you're going to have to wait until this is uploaded to YouTube and you can go in and you can watch all the entries yourself. That's all I got for you. That's just one of those things that's just bound to happen. All right, here we go. Sternritter D. Oh, yeah, the D. Askenaklevar approves. This person, I don't think, sent me in a name, so I'm just going to refer to them by their email. Basilisk Jones, which is a pretty cool name, by the way. Basilisk Jones sends in Sternritter D, the Dimension. And let me tell you, this is one of my, this made me happy. This made me happy because it's a short design. It's only about a page and a third long. So I might just go through all of it or very, very much of it, but it made me very happy. So let's do this. Sternritter D, the Dimension. The Sternritter wears a big cloak that goes down to his knees. The cloak has a hood similar to Gremmy's hood. That's not why it made me happy. He's not capable of flash step. He has a tattoo of the number 3 on his left cheek. Though he wears a mask to conceal this fact, he also talks in a traditional, respectful manner. He is also incredibly strong and fast when he removes his coat. I don't believe he has a name, which is okay. I didn't say you had to send in a name. Okay, so this is why I'm happy, because he took the power of the dimension, because there's so many ways you can interpret the dimension. This isn't the only dimension power I received. There was a few. But there's so many ways you can interpret the dimension. It's like you could make a portal to your own dimension, or you can bring a dimension here. The way Basilisk Jones chose to do it was in the different dimensions that exist as on paper and in like video games and shit, as in 1D, 2D, 3D, and 4D. So here we go. So we have one dimension, one-dimensional. This is the name of his first power. One dimension is a point. That's all it is. It's just a point. There's nothing more than just a single point in space. So if you have a graph, like an X and Y graph, and you plot, I don't know, points 3, 7, that's one-dimensional. It's just a point. It doesn't go anywhere. It's not a line, just the point. So the power here is Sternritter D can teleport any unconscious person he touches to a fixed point in space. This technique must only be used on someone who is dead or unconscious, because any movement from the person being teleported would negate the flattening and shortening of that person. And it doesn't say what would happen to them, but I would assume they would get ripped apart in the void, probably, because you can't move. You can't move at all. It's one-dimensional. You can't move. You're basically being flattened to an extra-dimensional space and being teleported somewhere else. So one point to the other point. He can't teleport anywhere beside the fixed point, so he can usually just teleport. He can't just teleport blitz anywhere, so he can't just, zip around the battlefield like fucking Deadpool. He has to, he has to take a max of 20 seconds to use this technique, so it isn't very practical in the heat of battle. But if he's just, if his defeated comrade is lying unconscious, he can send them to another point on the battlefield, and that's a pretty interesting ability. Two-dimensional allows Sternritter D to flatten himself into anything he's touching. So if he's touching like a rock, that rock gets flattened into 2D. 2D is something that you would see as comic books, basically. Two-dimensional lines going to point. So manga would be two-dimensional. Anything you see in Bleach, that's all 2D. This allows him to hide in people's shadows. He can glide across any flat surface regardless of its terrain or the gravitational pull. He can, so he can, move around, I guess, in a very heavily or in space, I guess, because he's not really bound by the laws of this dimension. He's two-dimensional. He's like a shadow. A shadow is not bound by gravity. Nothing in 3D can interact with him or his objects while in this state, and vice versa. So he can't, like show up behind you as a shadow and then stab you with his shadow knife. He can't affect anything either. He's a shadow, basically. But he can be seen he can be seen in this form. He can alter and he can summon and hide weapons at any time without altering himself. He can also flatten bombs or other weapons. So this is a very interesting power because he can take a big fucking huge bomb or like a really huge gun or something, and he can flatten it in this extra dimensional space, move to another location without his opponents being able to kill him or touch him or do anything, pop out the other side and be like, aha, boom, like underneath a door or something, be like, aha, boom. So there you go. That's pretty cool. 3D isn't really an ability. It's the ability to return to his extra dimensional. So when he goes into 2D, when he wants to go back to his normal form, he'll use the 3D ability and he'll just return to his normal state. That's what 3D is. 3D doesn't really have its own unique power. But it's funny, when he says 3, when he activates the power to return to normal, he says san. And san, of course, means 3 in Japanese. He must hold his he must hold his breath while in the 2D state when he transfers to 3D, or else his lungs would expand and kill him, kind of like explosive decompression. 4-dimensional, which is actually time, but Okay. Hashtag waiting for my letter. Ha! Congrats, Leo. Your Sternritter is really well done and better than mine. Okay, cool. So 4-dimensional. This is his ultimate technique, as the 4th dimension represents time. This ability allows him to go back 40 seconds into the past after activation. Hold on. We'll get to this. This technique is the only one he does not have to hold up a number for his hands or feet. Oh, okay, so I guess he holds up a number, he's like, activate 2 when he goes into 2. Activate 1 when he goes into... Oh, shit. Okay, I froze for a second there. Sorry. Holds up 1, goes into 1, 2, goes into 2. So, wait, just let me double check. He's pretty much the most killable person ever. So what I like about that, though, 40, time manipulation, but 40 seconds might not seem like that much, but in the middle of a heated battle, 40 seconds, that's a pretty big deal. And it's not like he can't use it in succession. It tires him greatly. He can't be like, I'm going to go 40 seconds back, and I'm going to go 40 seconds back even more. I'm going to go 40 seconds back. Like, he's going back and forward. No, he can't do that. He can only do it like majorly just once in a battle, and it drains him. But considering the fact that 40 seconds in any battle could mean the difference between life or death, that's a really interesting power. Like your opponent shows off like, this is my ultimate technique. I'm going to cut you in half. It's like, oh, 4th dimensional and 40 seconds back. It's like, this is my ultimate technique. I'm like, I know you were going to cut me in half, and he avoids it. That's pretty cool. It's basically like his one freebie, basically. You know how everyone gets one freebie? That's his freebie. If his opponent decides to like one-shot him and go with like the Mugetz or something, at least he can use his freebie to kind of get out of it, like his get out of jail free card, essentially. Okay, but that's Sternritter D. Sternritter E now. Where is E at? Oh yeah, E's a fun one. E's a fun one. Let me go and just do a little quick comment check here, figure out where we are on the stream. He avoids it. Cool. It's basically like his one freebie. Okay, good. My voice doesn't sound as robotic as it did before. Oh, you didn't see the picture? Man, that sucks. Didn't see the picture. Didn't see the picture. Didn't see the picture. Didn't see the picture. Aha! Well, let me try that again. Let me try that one more time, and if it doesn't work, then I might just have to post these on my... If it doesn't work here, whenever I do the art gallery video, I'll just show them in the art gallery. But let me try this again. I want to see why this couldn't work. All right. Screen share. Freaking Google, man. Freaking Google. All right. All right. How about now? You're going to be hearing an echo here. That's because I'm watching myself. I just want to make sure that you guys can see it this time. Lag's not terribly bad. Lag's about maybe 30 seconds. I mean, that kind of sucks. It's not as good as you now, but it's still somewhat okay. Mm. Okay, good. That's okay. That worked. That worked somewhat. I saw the thing. Okay, you saw the thing. It's like, Julie, do the thing. I saw the thing. Okay, good. The thing. All right, good. The thing worked. Let's go back live now. All right. 174 people watching right now. Okay. We're about 30 minutes into this, and we've already gotten 4 done. I got to speed this up a bit. I'll fall into the rhythm eventually. Not all of these are as long as this one, obviously. This is just, you know, some of them are shorter, some of them are longer. You know what? You know what? I need to come up with a path for this. So let's see. I'll announce the Sternritter, give you the name, give you the power, give you the basic reason why I picked it. And then I'll give you like a rundown of their power in like a sentence or two, and then a hold standing if they have one. I'm sorry if you guys are sending me in like a mile-long entry and you want me to explain everything to the good people out there, but we have to speed this up. We need to, because I'm on number 4 already, and that's even with these quick explanations. I mean, with these little side trips we've been having in between letters. Hey, Tekking saw the death battle. Hey, just because I mentioned Deadpool doesn't... Okay, whatever. Moving to Sternritter E. Let me just check to see if they want me to use... All right, yeah, once again, I don't think I got a name for this individual. So I'm just going to use the name for the email once again. This is sent in by Iden Sherrington. Sternritter E, the entropy. This is another one I got kind of giddy over. Entropy, yeah, the entropy, the name is Tomoko Sano. And the manipulation of entropy, the amount of disorder within a system. Yes, entropy is a very, if you're unfamiliar with the concept, I'm not going to try to explain it to you because it's a very confusing concept. It's basically like the idea that it's basically chaos. Entropy equals chaos. The longer something exists, the more toward chaos it is headed. So the universe, for instance, as soon as the universe stops expanding, it'll begin shortening. It'll be heading toward chaos, heading toward nothingness. You could kind of imply this to any living organism. You know, the infant is born. As soon as it's born, it begins heading toward chaos because it begins to age and get older and then eventually die. Same thing with any living matter. Same thing with anything, really. Entropy is a very interesting concept. And he actually posts the Google definition. So this is what Google says entropy is. I need the smart glasses. Fuck it. A thermodynamic quantity representing the unavailability of a system's thermal energy for conservation into mechanical work, often interpreted as the degree of disorder or randomness in the system. Did everyone get that? Yeah, you probably didn't. Okay. Don't worry. They simplify it for us immensely. So Tomoko Sano, E, the entropy. In short, she can manipulate the amount of energy in a system that is unavailable to do work. She could freeze or heat substances, manipulate electrical current, force reactions to become spontaneous, or even absorb the attacks of her foes. The power supports her own innate Quincy ability to manipulate or absorb reishi to use. So yeah, as a Quincy, you know, all Quincy's can manipulate and absorb reishi. She's just using it to tap into the energy in certain substances, like in electrical charges and freezing or heating things. Whenever using her power, the effective areas will have light blue sparks and arcs of what might seem to be electricity around them. This is just an indication that her power is being used. Let's see what else we can talk about here. And she can manipulate into light. Like she just goes into, you know, detail on electrical current manipulation, chemical reactions, temperature manipulation. In one-on-one combat, especially against close-up fighters, she has a hard time. So she's more of a long-range planning sort of fighter. Like she has to have, she's a really powerful chick, but she needs to have certain conditions set up, and she's not good at just, you know, punching a lot. And then they sent in a backstory, which I apologize, I'm not going to read through all of this. Sternritter E is a female, standing at 5'10", weighing 71 kilograms. She has jet black hair. There is a picture here, but I do not believe it is a picture that was drawn by the individual. I believe it was taken from something else. There's another image, which once again is different from the first image, so I believe it is of two different characters that just look very similar. Her spirit weapon is a rectangular sci-fi-like rifle. Its primary use is a medium and long-range weapon, so she can alternate between burst firing and more accurate single shots. So it's like a laser gun sort of deal. So we have a lady that can manipulate electrical charges and chemicals and temperatures of certain shit, the ability of the entropy, and she also has a fucking rifle. Bam, right? That's awesome. And she's a marksman too. She can markswoman, I guess. She kick ass. She has Bleach, she has Ginto, she has Volt Standing, all that sort of thing. She can fly, Volt Standing, Reishi turrets. Instead of holding her rifle, once released, two appear at either shoulder with... Okay, cool. So when she goes into Volt Standing, she doesn't even hold her rifle anymore. It's just like these two turrets appear and just... I control you. I mean, I guess on either side of the wing. That'd be really cool if the wings became gun turrets. But that's just like her Quincy ability. That's like her arrows. You know, that's another thing. Quincy should use more than arrows. I mean, I know... Like, Kurhei used a sword, Basby has a crossbow, BG9 used the fucking minigun. But we could get more... You could have gotten more creative with this Kubo. Come on. Somebody break out the Quincy shotgun or some shit. All right, so that's Sternritter E. Tomoko Santo. All right. What comes next? That'll be F. F's another good one. F's another good one. Well, they're all good ones, but you know what I mean. F's a good one. This one is sent in by Wilmer Juarez. 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 Whereas? Wilmer Whereas. Sorry. Okay. This is Sternritter F, The Friction, Guillaume da Vinci. I understand the last name is Da Vinci, but the first name is Gillaume. Guillaume. It's Italian. I mean, I know we were going with this. Da Vinci, Italian. I get it, but I'm not Italian. In case you guys didn't know, I'm not Italian. This one does have a picture, so let me see if I can pull that up. The Friction, as I read this, of course. The Friction. Guillaume is a tall and slender man with a deep voice, and he likes to talk to himself at all the time. So he's a very, yeah, he has a, you know, middle-aged man. He has a scar on the side of his face, kind of a curly hairstyle. He has a beard. So it's obvious that the individual is going for very similar, like a Leonardo da Vinci sort of inventor kind of deal. Sternritter F is an architect, and they went into detail stating that it was he that designed the Silburn, which I thought that was a pretty cool little side note there for a backstory, that he was the architect that designed the Silburn, because the Silburn does have a very unique appearance. In case you don't remember, the Silburn is the palace the Quincy's are in. It's the Ice Palace thing, which was only, I think, named once. Yeah, so no, I don't fault you for not ever remembering it. Oh, Infinity Shot. There we are. That is, oh, wait. There you go. Sternritter F, The Friction. There we go. That's a little snapshot of him. Just let me make sure that it shows up on here. Waiting for it to pop up. I just want to make sure that you're not staring at darkness for a little bit. So, yeah.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. Okay, good. It's much more fluent now. Okay, good. So that's okay. We're good then. We're good. I just had to make sure that it was being shown in some form. All right. So yes, the friction. Now I can read through this here. After I stop the screenshot, give me a second. Ah, where did it go? Oh wait, hold up. Okay, I see it. Stop sharing. Back to me, guys. Back to me. I hope there's a samurai in the Sternritter. I don't know why, but I'm always a sucker for samurais. Yeah, especially 6 samurai. All right. So yes, he was the architect for the Sternritters. So for the power of the friction, Grandma can increase or decrease friction at will in a radial area up to half a ri, or almost 2,000 meters around him. Now that might seem like a really like a large area, and it is. But on the same side, friction is something that occurs over, well, it can occur over a long distance. So it would make sense why he has a very large scope of his power. You know, to decrease friction, he would need a lot of room to work with this, especially in a combat type setting. He uses this power in 2 primary ways, offensive and defensive. He can use both at the same time. He can form 2 invisible transpassable walls around him. The first wall is the one he can span up to a ri of diameter, but he usually does not go such extent. So he can make this one really big, but he usually doesn't choose to. With this wall, he can increase the friction or eliminate friction. Thus, it's hard for his enemies to move through or even be able to stop until reach the other side. If the enemy makes it through the first wall and aim for him, they will be penetrating his second wall, his personal space wall. So that is opening up like a 5-meter space around him. So that's like his second line of defense. In this space, friction is absolute, and the enemy will be in a static friction state, not being able to move at all. The second wall is not necessary in the middle of the first wall because he carries it with him, so it can be at any point within it. So it's always around him. It's like Byakuya's safe zone. So whenever somebody gets close to him and manages to get to the first one, the second one's like static. You know, you stay, staying still. With his volt standing, it just increases the distance of his walls and his powers. The Reishi weapon. Gillowy preferred weapon is a longbow that he can shoot 4 arrows at once. Once he shoots his arrow at his enemies, he has marked with his eyes. His arrows will not stop until they make contact with the enemy. So they're basically, they trace his enemy. They track it. He's a genius, so right away in combat he has that going for him. The thing that I really like is that his volt standing is the wings of Da Vinci's flying machine. If you recall from Leonardo da Vinci, when he had one of his many types of flying machines, they were like bat wings, sort of, and it's like mechanical in a sense. So that's kind of what they look like. He just took a drawing of Da Vinci's actual drawings, and he just put it on there to show me. So that's Sternritter F, the friction. I view him as sort of like a Greek philosopher type guy. I mean, I know he's Italian, but they have the appearance of a philosopher sort of deal. He's a genius, genius, inventor, philosopher, whatever. G. Okay, G. So remember way back, I don't know if you watched all the updates, but I said in one of my updates I got a shit ton of gravities in the G, which is one of the cooler. I mean, when you think powers for G, you're gonna probably jump to gravity at some point. There were like probably how many entries were in G? Let me see how many entries were in G. There were 25. Probably 10 of those were gravities. With that all being said, the winner of Sternritter G is G the Gravity. I know. It was basically finding the best way to interpret the gravity. As with the dimension, there's multiple ways you can interpret the dimension. Multiple ways you can interpret the gravity, multiple ways you could take advantage of the gravity. And I selected this one. This is Sternritter. Wait, go back. This touch screen makes it so easier.
This is sent to me by, let me just check to make sure. This is sent to me by Ramon German. I don't know if that's her last name or if that's just the name you wanted to go with, but that's whatever. Ramon German. And the name of the Sternritter is Onmar Gunther. Onmar Gunther. Finally a name I can pronounce fairly confidently that's the name. Onmar Gunther. The Gravity. He is capable to manipulate at will the force of gravity around him within a radius of 980 meters. Like I said, there's a lot of entries on here. Pretty much, it is the vast majority that have an ability like I use this ability within, you know, this many feet of me, this many meters around this area. You know, it's a very zone-centric kind of people with an ability. Can't imagine having to wait for somebody who has Sternritter Z. Yeah, well, I have to go through them all eventually. Like, I have to go through all of them, guys. I mean, I guess I could go like A, Z, Y, B, but that would just confuse everybody. And that would probably confuse me at some point. So I got to do it this way. I mean, you could wait until on the stream where you could go to bed and just wait until or go away and do other things. Because we're going to be here a while. Strap in, folks. All right. The Gravity. He has a picture as well, so let's get that on the big screen. That's not... There we go. Hey, we're making progress. We're already on number 7. It's not okay. It's not even an hour in, and we're already a third of the way through. Wait, shit. Okay, and we're an hour in, and we're almost a third of the way through. Wait, what am I going in G for? Hold on. I have a special thing for everybody here. Hey, look, you can see all the winners. Crazy, huh? Too bad you'll never live to tell the tale. Yes, but this is Sternritter G, the Gravity. Damn cool design. I like it. I like the font. Font is very cool. Appearance is very imposing. Very kind of, basically, I was going to say Sasuke, but the hair is a little bit different, but it is black. And yes, so that is the appearance of Sternritter G, the Gravity. Indeed, indeed. Okay, back to me. Look at me. Now back to me. Now, male, age 24, nationality is German. His personality, he's highly loyal. He doesn't like to stand up. He's always sitting down. Get it? Because he's Gravity. Sitting down. His techniques are, so his techniques are split into 2 different categories. They're the G forces and then there's T forces. So G and T. So let me explain this. So he has an ability called, so he could use G0. So he'll like announce G as in he wants to manipulate gravity, and then he'll say the number to which factor. So his first is G0, which is 0G, which is basically no gravity. It's nullifying gravity. You know what happens in 0G. This water would be spilling upwards out of my glass. I'd be floating in this room, and I would also be dying of explosive decompression. But so, yeah, that's 0G. And then G1 is the force of gravity 1 time. But I would assume that's the same thing with the dimensional. Like, while let's say he's using G7. He's like 7 times gravity. He can use G1 to restore normal gravity. So that's, I think, what he uses G1 for. And he can use this all the way up to G9. So he can increase gravity up to 9 times in his base form for the gravity. And he has this other technique called the same basic concept with T instead of G. T0. This is a technique when he touches an object or person and he makes null the action of the force of gravity, so the object, while he's touching it, is not affected by the above techniques, and this object remains weightless. That's a very interesting technique to have. If you're using, let's say, G6, and everyone around you is like pressuring downward, and, oh, hey, look, there's a sword. I kind of want to use that sword. Oh, wait a second, it's 6 times the gravity, so I can't pick it up. T0, so now I can pick up this sword, and I can use it, and everything else is still compressed. So, pretty cool technique. And then this can also work up to T9. So basically, this only affects anything he touches. And that might seem kind of redundant. Like, well, he's already manipulating gravity, so why does he need this other technique to manipulate gravity further? Well, it all depends on the situation in hand, because, you know, battles can be, a lot of situations. I gave the sword situation, but, maybe you're dealing with an opponent, and an ally is with you, and you want to make the lesser of, like, gravity, less for them or something like that, or there's some other reason you need to specifically make this gravity less than the overall gravity that you're pressuring down on everybody. So that's a pretty cool idea. Let's see here. However, when he goes into volt standing, this is where it gets insane. When he goes into volt standing, he can use the above techniques up to G90 and T90 respectively. 90 times normal gravity. I mean, Goku would shrug that shit off. Shit, that's not even a morning workout for him. But for any other normal person, that's skull shattering. That is not even time for me to scream. That is 90 times gravity. That's the molecules literally. That's it. Also, after he goes into volt standing, he can activate 2 abilities. Tempus Mortem. It means dead of time. What this technique does is increase the force of gravity around him and inside the enemy up to a point that time seems to stop. He can only use this for a period of 9 seconds in a day. This will be about 1,000 times gravity, but he can only use this for a brief moment. So he can basically stop time at it for like 10 seconds a day, if that makes sense. Black hole, which I knew this. Everybody that had a gravity-based power had to throw in black holes at one point. I'm not going to sit around and explain to you the problem when a black hole would spontaneously appear in our world close up, but it's fiction, so let's just go with this. Self-destructing technique, last resort. He implements and makes a black hole. The gravity is so strong that even light cannot escape. Radius of effect in the black hole is 1 kilometer. Pretty sure if a 1 kilometer wide black hole just appeared on a battlefield, it would kill everything. As in everything on that planet. Or compress everything on that planet. But yeah, pretty cool power there. It's everything I wanted to cover. So thank you very much for the gravity. One of the many gravities. H. H is next. Okay, good. I like H. H is a favy. H is a personal favorite because you'll see why. Hold on, I just need a minute to collect myself here. Okay. Okay, 8 letters in. 8 letters in. So that means we're basically 1/3 of the way through now. Okay. Got this. We got this. We got this. I'm trying to keep my energy up. I don't want to get too tired. I don't want the end of this stream basically me being lying in bed like. Okay, so Sternritter W can do this and this. Sternritter Y can do this and that. Yeah, I don't want that to happen. I'm trying to maintain energy here. I ate before we did this. Okay. Okay. All right. Here we go. Here we go. Sternritter H, sent in by Patrick McGorman. The Hive Mind. The Hive Mind. Sternritter H. Siditosa Kermi. It doesn't matter because there is no gender. This individual is sort of like Perndina. Wears a cloak. My necklace is caught behind me. Yes, there we go. Wears a cloak, kind of shrouded. 6 yellow eyes, on 3 on each side. Has a long nose, sharp teeth, long tongue, and a leech-like mouth at the end of it. So a tongue that has a mouth. So alien, basically. The power of the hive mind is the manipulation of insects. I love insects. Okay, but on top of this, okay, let me just explain this. Hold on. Okay, first off, The person itself, I guess they're looking for sort of like an insectoid-based kind of ability, so very flexible, very maneuverable in tight spaces here. It has no bones that allow it to resist bludgeoning attacks. I would assume it has some kind of exoskeleton. Sidiatosia is difficult to hurt, but due to lack of bones, its blute artery is quite weak. So it can't use blute artery because, you know, no bones. Okay. So, stealth-based Sternritter tends to hide in the shadows and is able to hide in the smallest crevices due to lack of bone structure. So its contortion can, like, you know, like, oh, that's a crevice. Okay, well, I have no inside, so I can just, like, squeeze in there. But, yeah. Sternritter H has many types of bugs inside of it, such as giant leeches, hornets, spiders, mosquitoes, and maggots. All of the bugs share the same mind, even while separated. So if one bug senses something, they all do. Sidiatosia is not without its own offensive moves either. It can grow giant-like bugs parts out of its body. Some examples include a giant stinger in its palm, a sharp blood-draining proboscis on its forearm. Proboscis is the thing like mosquitoes have. So like a big proboscis just growing out of its forearm, like, suck it your blood, bitch. You know, I love this guy. Volt standing. Switch Yell, the Plague of God. To activate Switch Yell, Sidiatosia Kermi must grab a scarab from inside of it with the Von Reich emblem on it. So you know how like when Asnot activated it, he like his eyeball went back and you saw the Sternritter emblem on the back of his eyeball. With the Sidiatosia pulls out a scarab that has the Von Reich emblem on it and then crushes it. The Surge of Ryatsu releases all the bugs inside of it. The bugs then shape into a humanoid form and forms 4 Ryatsu spider legs. The bugs can separate at will, and they know how to dodge slashes. The bugs also rapidly breed with one another to create more bugs. Eventually, bugs can form a second Sidiatosia that shares all the memories and thoughts with the original one, because it's a hive mind, so it makes sense how they could make a separate being, and because they all share the same mind, it would have the same memories as Sidiatosia. And then he will even use the dead enemy as an incubator for more eggs. Like, oh, I just killed this guy? Cool, I'm going to lay eggs in it. Make more bugs. Luckily, Sternritter H loses its ability, uses the blute maneuvers. Okay, so it can't use the blute when it's in Volt standing. Okay, so yeah, it's a bug Sternritter. Now, I know a lot of you are going to be thinking, this is Tommy Rod from fucking Toriko. Well, it doesn't use any Tommy Rod's techniques. You don't see him summoning the fucking Parasite Emperor. And we never saw Tommy Rod making clones of himself out of bugs or growing huge stingers on his arms. And also, even Tommy Rod didn't go to the next level and lay eggs in his opponents that he killed. So, God, yeah. Whoa. Yeah, it's still the 19th here. I guess you do live in the future. All right, so that's Sternritter H, the hive mind. I do enjoy insects. Insects, studying about them is, reading about them is a hobby of mine. Sternritter I next. Okay, I is another good one. Okay, I is short, too. I is short. It's only like 2 paragraphs. Okay. Okay, this is sent in by Miles West, and this is a concept that I wish would have been touched upon in the original Sternritter in the series, but it was never touched upon. Jamina Jazdera, a.k.a. The Injection, a 17-year-old girl of average height. Under her robe, she wears a nurse's outfit. Jamina has a split personality, one for combat and another for outside of combat. The one outside of combat is a nice, mousy girl, very clumsy, very harmless. She seems... so basically like the kind, considerate nurse, and then in combat, she's like, gonna fuck you up! She loves to fight. She loves to inflict as much pain as possible when she's in her other personality. Okay. So her ability is, she is basically the medic of the Sternritter. She is the medic. I like this concept that there's one Sternritter specifically designed. Like, she can fight herself, but her powers primarily are medical, helping somebody else out. Now, they didn't send in a picture, but I was basically thinking of Injection Fairy Lily. It's a Yu-Gi-Oh card. It's very hard not to think. Just pink hair, nurse's outfit, and she carries a giant syringe. And that's basically what Sternritter, what Jamina Jazdera can do with the injection. The injection's ability is to inject her Ryatsu into someone, which can create several different effects. Her main method of injecting into someone is with a giant syringe. Anybody that has a giant syringe is instantly okay in my book. Taking any kind of small weapon and making into it a giant weapon, like, you know,
Giant scissors, you're awesome. Giant X-Acto knife, you're awesome. Giant toothpick, you're awesome. Which would really, it would just be a javelin basically, but no, it's not a javelin, it's a giant toothpick. Okay. When she uses as a weapon, she can also use it as I'm assuming a sword too. She also carries smaller syringes on her person. That'd be cool if she like chucks some like kunai knives and shit. She has to choose what effects and will have before she injects someone because it will change. It will not change once injected. So it's not like she changes out the liquid. That's a cool concept. It's like she's not changing out the liquid in the syringe. The liquid is always the same. It's like she uses her power to change what the liquid's effect will have on them. So she can give out stuff that can paralyze. She can also, like the standard, she can heal somebody, make them go berserk with amazing amounts of strength. So that's basically like endorphins and adrenaline. She can cause immediate death. She can cause a slow, painful death. Her volt standing causes 2 angel wings to appear on her back. Her volt standing is called the Medic of God. The Medic of God. Some of you might compare her to Ivankov from One Piece. It's not the same as Ivankov because Ivankov, her abilities were hormones. She could not straight up just heal somebody magically. She could give you better hormones to heal you. Jamina Jazdera basically says, "Okay, I want this. Oh, you're I'm trying to think of a good, it's like, oh, you have a disease. Okay, well, I'll make this fluid, counteract this disease. Chink, squeeze, and then you're healed. You have the magical cure to everything." Okay, that's Sternritter Eye. So like I said, that one was quick. That one was short and sweet. Next up is J. J is 1 page long, so not terribly long. See, like I said, many of these that we did were already were long. They were in the beginning. It just ended up that way. Oh wait, hold on. So yeah, we're lagging a little bit here. But it's okay. You can still hear me. That's fine because I'm not doing anything really physical here. So if you get some lag, it's cool. It's going to happen. I would prefer video lag to audio lag. I will do the rest. I will finish this fucking thing as a podcast if I have to. We're not going back from this, okay? Giant paintbrush. Hey, I see what you did there. I just said the fairy lily. Quincy Unohana, anyone? G90 is the fucking Sternritter. I'm a steamroller. News! I didn't win. Go to sleep. Yeah. See, there's gonna be people like that too. I know what it's like, guys. I know. Waiting for your entry to be announced, and it's not you, and you feel this crushing pain in your heart, like G90 right in your soul. But hey, I think we can already announce, like we're already a third of the way through this, but I think we can already admit the Sterners we've gone through already could pretty much solo most of the Bleach universe already. Already, I think I've done my job. I don't need to continue this. We've already conquered the Bleach universe. If I do say so myself. Alrighty, let's get to J. Sternritter J was sent in by the guy that goes by Jacob Smith. Sternritter J, The Journey. Don't stop believing. I had to do it. I was going to play the song, but then I remembered I'm on Google and that's copyright, so I just can't do it. Any way you want it, that's the way you need it. Any way you want it. Okay, I'm not going to do it. Okay, I'll finish the damn thing. I love Journey, okay? They're like one of 5 best bands in history. I fucking love Journey. Okay, anyway, Sternritter J, The Journey, Legion Longstride. Kick-ass name, by the way. My name is, seriously, if you introduce yourself to the class, everybody, what is your name? my name is Legion Longstride. And everyone's going to look at that and they're going to laugh. They're going to laugh. But at the same, like right before they're about to laugh, they realize that name is so awesome. It transcends comedy and loops back around to being epic. So they're going to be like, Legion Longstride. Oh my God, that's awesome. You know? So, Legion is a man of short stature who wears a tattered and stained Sternritter uniform, looking to be around the age of 50. Yeah, there are some older Sternritters here too. So around Robert Acatron's age. Moving around barefooted, Legion stores his bow in a walking stick. Okay, so basically a Quincy Yamamoto with a walking stick. And he's a shaggy mess of hair, shaggy beard, whatever. Come on, throat. We can do this. So yeah, he has a very ragged appearance. He basically looks like a wanderer, like a bum, a Quincy bum, essentially, but that's for good reason, because his power of the journey allows him to manipulate an opponent's mind into believing that they are surrounded by the terrain that's not actually there. See, the idea behind Legion Longstride is that he's a guy that's been traveling. He's 50 years old. He's traveled the world for most of his life, experiencing all these different environments, and thanks to his Quincy power, he can make everyone else experience those environments as well as illusions. Okay, so so like if he wandered through a desert, he can make them think they're in a desert and they'll still feel all the heat like and the humidity of being in a desert. The opponent is made to believe such things as they are wading through a ferocious river or climbing up a sheer rock face, all causing greater stress on the body because they cannot see the obstacles in front of them. Legion often subjects his opponents to relive memories in the most testing terrain from his many long travels. The ability severely cripples the mobility and endurance of an opponent, rendering such techniques as Flash Step useless. The journey power causes quick fatigue, putting massive mental stress on its targets. His Volt standing takes the form of a battered and bent angel wings, granting the ability to double the mental pressure fatigue on the journey's power. He has the fastest Hieron-Kyaku out of all the Sternritter, using his speed. He is able to... Yeah, some people did that too. Like, oh, he has the fastest Hieron-Kyaku. He has the best Blute. There's another speed-based Sternritter on this list, so you can do whatever you want. It's like when Zomari said, I have the best Sonido, but then you see fucking Stark that's almost just as fast, so whatever. Maybe there's a difference between the fastest and the most skilled with. So, yeah, you could say Legion Longstride is the fastest, and there's another Sternritter we're going to get to later down the line, and you could say he's just more skilled with it, I guess. If a fight ever comes to close quarters, Legion often uses dirty tactics to try and escape the situation and gather distance between him and his opponent. That doesn't surprise me, given the fact if he like this is just a cool idea, just for like he wandered the world his whole life, and then like he saw all the world had to offer, like tropical rainforests, you know, the freaking Ganges River, the Mojave Desert, the Sahara Desert, freaking jungles of Phnom Penh, you know, the frozen tundra, you know, all this shit, and he can inflict that on you. And then maybe one day he was like, I've seen everything this world has to offer. And then Yuha Bach appears before him, and he's like, I will let you show like this power before you. So I just want to see a backstory for this guy. I mean, this is one of the few entries I got that didn't have a massive backstory. I kind of would like to hear one. But yeah, that's the journey, my friends. The journey. Oh, you're the one that sent me in Okay, there was a live stream a while ago where I made a joke like, hey guys, you can send in Sternritter V, the Virgin, and you can call him me. Somebody actually did that. Somebody actually also sent in A for the awesome, and they made it me. Tekking101 is A, the awesome. So thanks, guys. No, I didn't delete your entry. I kept them all, even the ones that were meant to be not serious. I still kept them all just for a laugh. Journey's pretty cool, the band, not the Sternritter. He gives it to the opponent any way they want it. That would be cool if he was a fan of Journey. You know, he's 50 years old. That's about the age range. You know, Journey was big in the 70s, so they would be into that. They'd be like, you know what, I'll give you any way you want it. Or he just has, like, he spends all this time wandering around. He has to listen to something. To the west, someone get Sternritter a pole and a hot companion. So he makes Fata Morganas.
I know what that means. You can't screw with me. Yes, he does. All right. So we're going good so far. Uh-oh. Okay, hold up. Okay. I thought it stalled there for a second. Okay. So that's J, A, B, C, D, E, F, J, H. Wait, no, we're not going back. No, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. These aren't in alphabetical order, by the way. H, I, J, K. K! Oh, we're up to K! I love K! K is my favorite. No, that's not my favorite. It's not the one. Okay, I'll spoil it. Yeah, K did win one of the prizes. I do love K. K is probably the only one on this entire list that I received. Like, when I first announced the contest, I think there was like, there was a bunch of people that sent me in entries like the same day, the same week. And I said to them, like, guys, I'm giving you over a month to do this. I announced this on like the end of October. I'm like, you guys have a whole month to do this. So, I mean, you can send me in an entry now, but I don't want you to waste your, you can only send in one. I don't want you to like waste your time with this and then like 2 weeks from now realize, oh man, I should have done that instead. One of those entries I received was K. I received that October 21st, but this design was really good. It was short, it was sweet, but it was good. And it was something that I didn't see better. I mean, I didn't see anyone else that I liked nearly as much as this one. So here we go. Sternritter K is, give me a second. Oh, I don't have it up here. No, yes, I do. Okay, we're good. Sternritter K. Sternritter K, the headphones. No, Sternritter K, the knight. This isn't a very knightly sword, but it's a sword, so deal with it. Okay. Sternritter K is the knight. And it is sent in by CCP Darkrai Rules. He does indeed rule. How do you catch Darkrai in Pokemon Alpha Sapphire, by the way? I know you can catch Cresselia in like a special island. Don't know where you catch Darkrai. All right. So I don't think the knight has a name. The Nameless Knight. That's pretty damn cool. And it's only like one paragraph, and I want to read this to you. And the way I interpreted it was like really good. The knight gains considerable amounts of stamina, strength, speed, and durable based on how knightly he acts, wearing full body armor of knights, using weapons of knights, and acting with honor and chivalry. To do this to the fullest, one must act as a knight at all times. So it's kind of an awesome, like also tricky power where the entire basis for it is that you have to devote yourself to this one state of mind. So whatever power, whatever personality you had before, if you were like a blatant womanizer, you can't use this power, or you have to force yourself to act chivalrous. So that's pretty cool. It has a very, like, if the person that was doing this was like some guy at a strip club, is like, that was like spending money and, womanizing women, and he wanted this power, he would have to completely devote himself to these sense of virtues, because knights lived by this very strict code of virtues. Knights were very religious, or they were parts of very religious orders. So all of the knight's armor and weapons can be coincided with Quincy weapons. He can be changed instantly as long as the weapon is used by a knight. So he can make a Quincy saber as long as it's the kind of, like, he can't make a Quincy scythe or sickle because knights didn't use that shit. Quincy shield, Quincy javelin, Quincy sword, Quincy, polearm, Quincy bow and arrow, something like that. The knight can also grant his allies similar full-body armor to the ones he wears that boost them in the same way as the knight boosts himself, but to a lesser degree. So he's like, oh yes, have this chainmail, but you won't be as strong as me because I'm very knightly. There's a bunch of different segments of knights. Like, you have to have valor and humility and sacrifice and honor. Like for example, this is one good way. I'll give you an example here. Okay. I'll give you an example here. So let's say the knights, first off, knights do not do sneak attacks. Knights don't sneak up on your enemy and stab you. That's dishonorable. That's cowardice, killing your opponent from behind. So right away, the knight is very limited by his power. If he chooses to stab you from behind, his power is completely negated because he can't be a knight if he's acting in that manner. On the other hand, if he approaches like Ichigo or somebody and just like, I am Sternritter K, the Nameless Knight. I will have a duel with you. I challenge you to a duel of honor, Ichigo Kurosaki. And if Ichigo accepts, then his power would be like Super Saiyan. Boom! Honorable combat. On the other hand, if, for example, he slays Ichigo in an honorable way, that's one thing. However, let's say he merely wounds Ichigo. He wounds Ichigo, and he's on the ground, and he's begging for his life, and he's like, please don't kill me, please don't kill me. He can't kill him, because that's dishonorable. You can't kill a guy, like, he's like cowering in fear, he's helpless, he can't hurt you, you can't just go up and stab him in the fucking chest. So it's resistance, and that's why I love this design so much. The knight can challenge a person he deems worthy to a duel, which when accepted, the knight can only harm that person who accepted and vice versa. If someone were to interrupt a duel, the knight would turn into a black knight, a near unstoppable berserker, hell-bent on killing the person no matter who or what gets in his way. Only the current person who accepted the duel or someone with sufficient power can harm the knight. So basically, when like Ichigo accepts the duel, there's like this field around them, I guess, or maybe like this arena, just, you know, imaginary arena just appears. It's like, you know, all of you newcomers may watch, but you may not interfere with our duel of honor. You know? The knight superiors... Other aspect, knights are basically subservient to their lords. So if Yuha says to the knight, like, knights, retreat to the castle, you know, that's not cowardice, that's listening to your master, that's obeying your king. So you can leave in that. So yes, that is the knight. The knight can summon the empty full body of armor he grants to allies to prevent people from interrupting a duel, but the armor can be defective with sufficient strength. Okay, cool. So, yeah, I love that. I love the knight. The knight. Very knightly. Knightly. Okay, we're up to L. Okay, L's a very interesting one. L is very long, so I have to abridge it. Otherwise, we could spend another hour just talking about the L. All right. All right. Some of these were sent in like a Wikia format, which is fine, just as long as I could read it. Oh, we got one dislike so far. Sorry, I was taking a break. Maybe that was for my journey number. Let me just read some of these comments here. The knight sounds like Don Quixote de la Mancha. Yeah, I'm pretty sure, yeah, sort of kind of took inspiration from Don Quixote. So the knight is Saber from Fate Stay Night. I never saw Fate Stay Night. He can make Fate Stay Night. His name should be Arthur, just cause. Just cause, you know? Okay, so that's for the knight. All right. A very knightly indeed. Okay, so Sternritter L. Okay. Trying to figure out the best way for me to describe this. The Sternritter L, I'm convinced this person had to be working on this. In fact, I think he said so. He's been working on this for a while before sending it into me. He's been working on this character for a very long time. There's a lot of stuff for this character. He basically linked me to his DeviantArt page where there was an explanation of this character. There were drawings of him, and the drawings are very good. However, they were not done by himself. They were commissioned by somebody else, and that, you know, obviously I can't give him the best drawing, because if that was the case, then, you know, he commissioned them. He didn't draw them himself. But the drawings are very epic. They're done by Zonpak Toe Leader, which is somebody that's done drawings for me before in the past, so I know how awesome he can be. His drawing style is very imposing, very, very reminiscent of Bleach style. Okay, so here we go. I'm gonna cover what he does. Like, he has a bunch of abilities. I'm not gonna be able to go all throughout his abilities, but as soon as I explain to you what he is, you'll be able to get the gist of where the power's going, okay? Sternritter L. Asuma Godai. This was sent in by Mr. B1 Ank. And he is L for the Lunar. Before we continue, he's a werewolf. Okay, let's just get that out of the way. He's a werewolf. Now, everyone out there is probably going to be like, okay, probably know where this is going. So everything you know about werewolves, you know, you might, okay, well, some of that you might want to throw out because he does, you know, mention some of that. Like, he can't get shot with silver bullet or anything, but, you know. He kind of looks like, from the drawing I'm looking at here, it looks a lot like Hashwolf, just with white hair. He's rolling some really some cool armor there. So it goes like a whole 4 paragraphs talking about his personality. So he's a man of order and loyalty. He never questions the law, never betraying those who trust him. He wears his Quincy cross around his wrist. And now for the Lunar. So it's German for the Lunar, Japanese for the Moonlight. He's one of the few Sternritter to possess an animal-based ability. Asuma is capable of draining power from the moon when it is visible, and he becomes wolf-like in strength. He increases his strength, speed, defense, and overall Quincy abilities become bolstered and augmented, which makes his already formidable presence even more formidable. He has the teeth. He gets sharper. He turns into a full-blown white werewolf, which is fully powered up state. He's able to evenly match a Bankai-enabled opponent. If Asuma reaches this state of the night of the full moon, he is capable of activating Quincy Volt Standing. So he only uses Volt Standing when it's at night. Also, I mean, this also brings up a major issue when there's a new moon out. Like, he can't do it when it's a crescent moon or two. Like, he has to have the moon out. So, bit of a flaw. Like Yu-Ha has to be very careful when sending this guy out. But when he plans the invasion for a full moon, you fuckers are dead. You know, he's sending out he's got the freaking werewolf on him case. So he's got a bunch of techniques. He's got, like, not a ridiculous amount, but he has more than the standard Bleach characters, okay? I'm just going to go through some of these techniques. An ability called the Harbinger. It is the only capable of being used when Asuma is at his full power, when he's in his werewolf form. When he takes his Quincy cross, Asuma forms it into a bright ball of energy that he aligns with the moon. So he fires it into the sky, and it shoots down a beam of energy upon his opponent. No, upon him. Wait, hold on. Okay, it's a power-up move. Okay, the Harbinger. Okay, it's basically like shoots energy ball in the sky, shoots down upon him, doesn't quite get him to Volt Standing mode, but it's like a power-up sort of deal. He has a new Blut technique, Blut Einklang. I'm probably mispronouncing that like a bitch. Blood Harmony, that's what it stands for. Blood Harmony. It's basically able to use... It's basically Blut Vein and Blut Artery being used at the same time. That's basically what it is. Reishi Absorption, Ranso Tengai, Hirin Kyaku. He's got a new ability of Hirin Kyaku called Kasane Wase Hirin Kyaku, the superposition of the flying screen step. He's a werewolf on all fours, so that's not too hard to believe that he has some kind of advancement upon Hirin Kyaku. He has the Krinken Lead Spellcraft. That's the holy techniques that Yu-Ha was using, like that big castle, Sankt Zwinga. That's the technique that that Royd used against Yamamoto. He can use that. He's got Blut, he's got Blut Artery, got Blut Vein. And his Quincy Volt Standing is Ariel, the Illumination of God. He can only use it during the night of the full moon. When this requirement has been fulfilled, Asuma lets out a loud hound as engulfed by a column of reishi that forms into a large cross similar to Quincy transformations. He can fly. Flying werewolves, ladies and gentlemen. That's why I love imagination. Flying werewolves. He can use a spear called Graham and Gray Iron. Asuma's ultimate attacks. Famin's growing outer ring form into a long arm. It's a long bow that you take the spear from Graham, put it on the longbow, and shoot it out into, like, boom, like a big explosion. Massive globe-like explosion. So it's basically like a nuke, basically. So, I love this design. I don't want this to seem like I'm kind of, like, bored with this design. I love it to pieces. It's just that I wish I had more time to explain everything to you, but my throat's already kind of dying, so I have to get away from it. But that is Sternritter L, the Lunar, Asuma Godai. Okay. We're about halfway through this, right? Please say yes. Oh, man.
Okay. Let's see. We got M, N, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, B, W, X, Y, Z. We got 15 left. Ah. I was worried about the lunar. The lunar was the one I was dreading just for the sake of how long that would take. But we got through that, respectively anyway. Okay. L is very long. I see what you did there. Yes, that was a very clever penis joke, except it wasn't. Sorry. Oh, man, these are all amazing. I feel embarrassed at my own entry. Oh, don't be embarrassed, man. Nah, don't be embarrassed. All right. M. M's another good one. M's one of my faves. Oh, hold on. I accidentally X'd out of the list. I will fix this. But hey, everything's going good. Everything's going good. We're about halfway there. Halfway there. Hold on a second. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So M will be 13. So this will be halfway. Stream hasn't died. We're all good. But yeah, I'm gonna once again for the winners. I'm gonna announce them at the end, and I'm gonna email all you guys tomorrow about your prizes and whatnot. Because I need to rest after this, guys. My throat's gonna be shot for tomorrow. Even I'm not used to talking this much. That's yeah. Okay. Here's M. M has another image, so let me pull up screen share here. Actually, hold on. Let me see. This might actually work better. Hold on. Let me turn down the brightness on my laptop, and let me see if I can just show it to you guys like that. Let me tweak this. Okay, let me tweak this. Okay, by the way. All right, this is Sternritter M, sent in by Billy the Afro Man. He's been a fan of my videos before. Well, I guess he still is, apparently. Billy the Afro Man sent me this in. Sternritter M. Okay. And he is the Mistake. Let me adjust the brightness here. Oh, that's good. Yeah, see, that's good right there. That's good. We can keep that. Sternritter M for the Mistake. It's, of course, reversed with this, but it's close enough. Cool design. Really good design. Really good artwork there. He's got the bow. He seems like a very chill Sternritter, you know, because they don't all have to be psychopathic, crazy. I say psychopathic. That'll be funny when we get to P. You'll get that reference when we get to the letter P. But, yeah, he doesn't seem crazy. He doesn't have to be some kind of robot or monster. He's just looks like a dude, you know, just an average dude. You know, he doesn't have to be obsessed with death. He also doesn't have to be all happy and skippy, you know. And basically the M, 6'1", the Mistake. Joseph Fehler. Joseph Fehler appears to be a very calm and calculating individual. He's very polite and well-mannered, lulling his opponents into a false sense of security. So he's the kind of guy that, like, if he got into a fight, he'd be like, "Oh, hi, I'm James. I'm Joseph, member of the Sternritter. I'm Sternritter M." And he's like, "Oh, you want to fight, bro?" I'm like, "Oh, I don't want to fight. I mean, I'll fight you, but you know, don't think like I'm doing it. I'm just acting on orders and everything. I'm just, you know, I'm pretty chill, honestly." Lulling his appearance, false sense of order. Very intelligent. His fellow Sternritter often criticize him for prolonging his fights and mistakenly think of him as a sadist, due to his aiming to injure rather than to kill. However, as opposed to enjoying fighting and inflicting pain as much as he does in fact enjoy watching how opponents deal with his unique ability. I love this ability. I really do. Because it's so simple, but it's so effective while in combat, it's ridiculous. And that's the ability of the Mistake, literally meaning wrong move. Through this ability, Joseph is able to alter his enemy's judgment and force them to make mistakes in combat, altering their attack pattern to his benefit. For example, if an enemy were to do so that they could block an attack of his, he would make it so that they would move to block it early or too late, making their defensive ineffective. See, this is so clever. I love this shit. I love you guys.
because it's such an it's the kind of ability you don't know you're being affected by. You know, it's not like, you know, like the blood ability or the conqueror or you know, like messing with friction, messing with gravity, something that you can immediately like, oh, he's probably manipulating gravity. That's why I can't move too well. But with this ability, it's not something, it's something like you would look at and you'd be like, okay, what's he going to do? I know he's going to do some weird ass power. I don't know what it is. I better just attack him right now and just, you know, finish him in one blow. So let's say you move to attack him and he positions himself to counterattack, and you think to yourself that, oh, okay, I'll move this way to do this. And then you do that, and then he stabs you. You know, kind of like that. It fucks with your head on a subconscious level, something that you wouldn't realize, you know? Something like, let's say he throws a knife at you. He throws a knife at you. It's heading right toward you. But he could tweak your subconscious perception and just be like, I think he's going to miss. I think he's going to miss. I think he's going to... You know, just like a small, tiny mistake, like just messing with your mind, just a little bit, just tweaking it a little bit. So you genuinely made a mistake. I made a mistake. Oh, I love that power. And as the way he described, you know, like, I'm attacking you from above. Okay, well, I can block this. I'll just move back. Wait, why did I move back? You know, shit like that. And it's also the kind of ability the opponent would not figure out. Unless he's going to go on a monologue, which I actually think he explained. No, this isn't the one. Some of them actually said, one of them actually wrote in the description that one of the things they hate is monologuing. But yeah, so it's the kind of thing you wouldn't figure out. You know, it was like I don't understand, what's his power? He's just kicking my ass. I don't understand why I can't hit this guy. I can't understand why he's kicking my ass so much. His volt standing is, he has a bow, by the way. He just uses a bow. He has 2 orbs rotating on either side. His volt standing is Uriel, the poor judgment of God. Joseph gains a set of wings constructed from reishi, and it just, 3 white orbs similar to those in conjunction with his bow float around each of his wrists. So this is more of one of the just, like, standard volt standings like the Sternritter clique uses. Like, it doesn't actually give them a unique power. It just kind of, you know, enhances everything else. So there's that. But yeah, that's Sternritter M. Okay. Comment time. Open comment style. What? Open comment style. Sternritter M turns you into Eva Marie. If you're a WWE fan or WWE Diva fan, you'll get the joke. Yeah, I don't watch wrestling. This will be Tekking's longest video ever. Probably. So I assume V is the vampire. Funny story about that. Shut up. We'll get to there. All right, well, we're about halfway through, so I got to make a costume change. Oh, wait, hold on. Better idea. All right. Okay, gotta change it up a little bit. We're mudkipping it now. All I want for Christmas is a mudkip, 'cause I heard you like mudkips. Okay. All right. Just shut up, okay? Shut up, vampires and shit. Like, yeah, like I would put a werewolf and a vampire on my Sternritter just because that would be the most awesome thing ever. Just shut up, okay? Just shut up. Okay, so Sternritter N, the one that got completely screwed over in the series. Sorry, Robert Akron. Maybe we can make you a little bit better here. This is sent in to me by Byron Alejandro Diaz Cruz. Cool. The name of the Sternritter is Sternritter N, the Nature, Sylvanus Athala. Sylvanus Athala. It's male. Yeah, he is male. Sylvanus is a slim, well-built man with short, light gray hair on the top and back of his short, light gray hair on top and back, and black hair on the back of his head. So I was getting black and back confused there. Okay, so basically with the nature,
You might be thinking he can control, oh, okay, the nature. He can control plants. Not that kind of nature. Sylvanus gains the complete control over natural disasters, as well as some other nature's abilities. This becomes reflected in his body as he embodies nature's wrath. His weapons are 2 short-bladed katars. By intertwining his fingers, the 2 katars combine into a single long bow. Okay, so swords that become a bow. Instantly awesome. And the arrows he fires takes the attribute of the ability from the nature he is currently imbued with. So, yeah, we'll get to that. He also uses martial arts, accompanied with his speed, agility, his swift attacks using his body. So on top of everything he's built, he's skilled in martial arts. He knows shit. The skills change by breaking off a different tip of the Quincy star he wears as a necklace. The broken tip is replaced when breaking a different tip. Okay, so breaks off one tip, and then he uses that power. When he wants to use a different power, breaks off that tip, and the first one is restored. So the tip is, okay, he's got the power of the tornado, the earthquake, the thunderstorm, the heat wave, the hail, the overgrow. The lynic eruption, this is like when certain gases erupt from deep water. And yeah, so remember how I said I didn't like pure elementals? Like Bazby's just the heat. He's just the fire guy. Hollybell's the water girl. The nature, he's all this shit. He's dominating this shit. So right away, I gave him the power of like 3 Sternritters in one. Well, the guy gave him the power of 3 Sternritters in one. We had Byron Alejandro gave him the power of like all these Sternritters in one, which is instantly cool. So yeah, I'm not going to go into huge detail on all the different kinds of powers because we can all figure out what, heat wave, hail, thunderstorm. I think we can all assume what this kind of stuff does. The limnic of the, I'll go into the eruption one. He releases a haze of gas, CO2, around him. Prolonged exposure to this gas will suffocate anyone. So he can fire a bow. By this logic, he can fire an arrow made of CO2. That shit hits you and gets in you, like, that'd be a terrible way to die. You'd like damage your cells on the way out. Like you get shot CO2 directly into your lung. Oh god. So his volt standing is Puer Ver Terre, child of the land. His volt standing manifests as a pair of wings that sprout from his back and split into numerous branches. So he has branches. Volt standing abilities. Pangea. It allows him to create genuine large-scale earthquakes as long as the ability to rise meticulations of Earth. Pangea being the original continent before the continents shifted. Shu's breath. Absolute control over wind. Faunus's plea. The shrubbery turns into trees with hardened wood that can withstand Zanpakuto blows to a certain degree. Mufpanda, that's his enhanced free. So they basically he just gives names to all his different advanced abilities. Jupiter's might, which as I'm sure you can figure out, he can summon a cumulonimbus cloud that just and Set's rage. The area around his feet within his reach of his ratchet become hit by an incredibly searing heat. If it lasts too long, it will turn the area into a desert. Heat drains stamina from the area. Feeds it to Sylvanus. This is the skill he uses the least, however. Okay. Now, O is very brief. O is the bare basics of these rules. It's the very bare basics, but there's a really cool drawing, and I picked it just because I think there was only like 10 O entries, only 10. So this is O. There's an image here. Let me let me just enhance that a little bit there. Enhance. I can't enhance it for some reason. Can I do this? Nope, can't even do that. All right, well, you're just going to have to, I can show it to you when I show it to you. I'm going to close up his face. Okay. The O, sent in by Dark Doom Knight. He doesn't have a name. Sternritter O, the Omnidirection. And I could just read everything because it's really short. Weight, 142 pounds, male, human. His power is not being bound by one thing. Omni has the ability to travel back and forth in the timeline from the theory that we humans travel in a straight line from present to future, giving him the ability to open pathways in fourth-dimensional items. Give me a second. Weakness. With this ability, he also has to be careful with uses of usage. If he uses it too much in succession, it causes a mental distortion, which could lead to him using a completely different power or something along the lines of becoming a vegetable. So yeah, basically, if he uses it too much, his brain will just explode, essentially. So this is him, and I'll explain this power in a second, or at least I think what he's trying to go with this power. He kind of looks like, it looks like a character from Shingeki no Kyojin got crossed with a Quincy. He has like the brown thing going on, like white and black hair. I thought that was a really cool design. Really good art, really good art. So the Omni can basically travel back and forth along his own timeline. So he can't go into like 300 years into the future, 800 years into the past, but along his own timeline, he can do this. And this is something cool because if he encounters you, let's say you run into him on the battlefield and you're like, oh, well, you can't travel into the future because the future, this is your present right now. And he's like, is it? Maybe I'm really 50 years old and I just traveled back to when I was a teenager. You can freely manipulate it along your own timeline, but he can't make successive blasts. He can't like successively use it to, when I was 40, 60, 20, 10, 5, 6, nobody would like that. No one likes to have a brain aneurysm, so let's not do that. Still, pretty kick-ass design. Pretty cool. The omnidirection. Not much else. I mean, he could have done way more with that power. I wish he would have, but I like the power in itself, so that's why I went with it. But, yeah, it could have done a couple things more. Okay. Moving up to P. Sternritter P. This one has an image. The person specifically said that the image is not to win the contest. It's a hand-drawn image, although the image is quite done, is done quite well. And this is another one I love. I had a fan moment when I saw this. First, let's go to the comments because I did O and I did N-O without comments. See, we're moving along rather smoothly now. I've gotten into the groove, so to speak. It's 8:44 already. Holy shit. That last hour went by like zing. Okay. Okay. Blaze Master alphabet, bitch. Yes, I got N. Oh, okay. I guess you. Congratulations! One of the winners is in the stream. Da 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 da. Oh, Sternritter N. Illuminati confirmed. That sounds overpowered. Yeah, well, half of these sound overpowered. I didn't say you could do it overpowered. All I said was basically, don't give yourself the ability to blow up the world when you snap your fingers. Don't give yourself the ability to make all your opponents immediately drop dead with their head exploding. Don't give yourself the power onto a god because there's no point in you even, there's no point in it. But give yourself some balanced powers. But hey, if you want to, yeah, nature, thunder, rain, lightning, whatever. Ichigo could still maybe kick his ass. Sternritter M, the Mudkip. Sternritter, the vampire, is Alucard? Maybe it is. Yeah, Alucard broke in and he said that his entry's going to win or he's going to shoot me in the face with his jackal, and I don't want that, so sorry, guys. Sternritter U is probably Ukiora. Billy the Afroman's in here too. Cool. He's the mistake. He was with the mistake. Oh my god, I'm shaking! Haha, yes! Yes, okay, good. I'm good I made somebody happy, because I'm going to make 26 people very happy, and the other 485 extremely fucking pissed off. So that's good. At least one of the people I made happy is in here. Okay, Sternritter P. Sent in by Alan Moore. And the name is Sternritter P, the Psychopath, Hans Landa. Hans Landa. And this is a rough sketch from a notebook, but it's really good. I don't know if you can make it out. Hold on, let me turn this off. Can you see that? Yeah, you can't see that. There's a glare here, but that's the best you can get it. But he's cool. He's kind of like long flowing cape. He's got all these like metal like S&M chain bands around him. His eye has a
if you watch One Piece, wait, no, I'm turning up the volume, not the brightness. Come on, Matt, you know the difference. At least I think you do. He's got like a, oh, I thought that was a tattoo at first. He's got like a goatee. It looks like he has a tattoo around his eye. He has a scar. He's like a lateral scar going down this eye. But anyway, he's the psychopath. Hans Landa was granted by His Grace Yuha Bach the power of the psychopath, granting Hans psychokinetic abilities. Advanced telekinesis, can literally move or crush mountains with ease. I'm getting to this, hold on. Enhanced strength and speed, being able to toss Tokujo Tengen-myo over his shoulder. I know what you're thinking, hold on. And being able to outspeed Yoruichi Shihoin. He can create telekinetic slashes to slash through his opponent, a kinetic shield around and protect others. So here's the thing, and here's why I picked him. It's basically taking physical powers to their utmost maximum. So the image of a human being grabbing Tokujo Tengen-myo, a giant, and like throwing it over your shoulder sounds rather ridiculous. But here's the thing. It's just basically the power of physical strength to its utmost, and like physical, like all physical traits like speed, strength, stamina, stuff like that to its utmost. And he's using not his physical strength, but his telekinetic ability in order to manipulate this. But at the same time, he's like, maybe his telekinetic powers are so advanced, he's also psychotic. So he's going around, he's like the Joker, basically. Imagine if the Joker had super strength and can run super fast, you know? Personality. He kills litter for the well-being of others and enjoys ripping things apart. He believes sanity is a prison and that madness and sanity is true freedom. And by ripping apart those who try to cling to the lie of sanity, they are set free. So he's basically batshit psychopathic. So imagine a Joker-esque guy running around like, hey, everybody, I'm Sternritter, or Beetlejuice, maybe. Like, Sternritter P, the psychopath at your service, ladies and gentlemen. So basically like Deadpool. And he's like, you know, Tokujo Tengen-myo. He's like, that's a cool sword you got there. And he like stops the sword in the sky with like telekinetic hands. And he's like, whoom! And he like knocks Tokujo Tengen-myo across the Serite. And, you know, goes up, you know, he can like summon like telekinetic shields and he can slash people with this shit. Oh, man. So yeah, that's pretty freaking metal power. I like that. I like that. You know, taking telekinesis to its like highest degree and complete mastery. And the design was pretty kick-ass too. So that's, I love Sternritter P, the psychopath. Take one part Mask, Jim Carrey, one part Deadpool, one part Joker, and one part Beetlejuice, and you get Sternritter P, the psychopath. Hans. Oh, baby, Hans. Q is next. Q is next. Q is one with a very interesting backstory and a drawing. Yes, the backstory in this one's quite long. It's about half of a page. I think I can pronounce this name. But let me just check the comments really quick. My Sternritter L didn't win, but there were awesome designs. Yep, so you gotta get this, take it in spirits, guys. You might still get in the honorable mentions. Sternritter T is for Tekking. Shit, you called it. Just kidding. There's not going to be a samurai, is there? At least there's a knight. Yeah, at least you could settle on a knight. Samurai is not Sternritter S, I can tell you that. No. Sorry, there isn't a samurai. Make your own Sternritter contest, and you can have a samurai. The choice is yours. Okay. The plagiarize was a good one. That's actually probably going to be in the what's it called? Honorable mention video. Yeah, that one's probably going to be in there. But yes, I do know which one you're talking about, the plagiarize. There was in every letter there was probably like another, at least one. I want to say there was two others. There's at least one other, because some of the entries only had like literally less than 10 entries. So in every entry though, there was at least one other
really good one I had to kind of juggle with and just go with the one I preferred. But it wasn't like, oh, I 90% love the psychopath and I 10% like the plagiarize. It was that, you know, very, very evenly dispatched. He's like, yeah, has to be one. There can be only one. Well, actually, there's 26, but there can only be one per letter. So I had to make a lot of fucking tough decisions on this. But yeah. Psychic Deadpool Sternritter for the win. My favorite ones so far are the Blood and the Dimension. Cool, cool. Okay, so this is Sternritter Q, designed by Jason Williams. Q, Ferdinand Savon, but referred to as Mr. Savon within the Vonenreich. He is the Quick. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Immediately when I say the Quick, super speed. Not quite. Hold on. I wouldn't just pick a Sternritter like super speed. That's it. No. To increase the rate in which things occur. And he even says, like, in parentheses here, is like, not super speed! Exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point. Ferdinand is an elder Quincy and one of the first recruited into the Emperor's army. He is very wise, Quincy. Frequently attends the opera and ballet performances. And it's funny because he has a picture here. Hold on, I'll show you the picture. The picture is a rough sketch. But it is basically think of like a New Orleans crime boss. That's basically what you get. That's basically what I think when I look at him, like a New Orleans crime boss. Look, hey, I'm gonna steal you a woman, though, bitty. Yeah, this cayenne pepper. Turn around, I get on tea. Yeah, that kind of guy. So imagine that guy. You know, you're sitting for a nice night of opera. You're in your finest, you know, dress. This big hulking 6'9" guy walks in, you know, 300 pounds, big cigar in his mouth, you know. So yeah, he has his more backstory here, but essentially, powers. Quincy ability. He has a high level Quincy fighter. Mr. Savon is skilled in using Bleach, Kyaku, and the Quincy bow warfare. He was born a genetic freak. His inhuman strength and durability allowed him to become a master assassin as a young man while using nothing other than his own hands to execute his targets. Yeah, this is the kind of guy that go around the Hulk sort of assassination where he doesn't need a gun. He just kind of creeps up behind you, just crushes your skull, you know? In his time serving as a Yakuza bodyguard, he learned many advanced fighting techniques from professional martial artists. So, as the Sternritter Quick, Mr. Savon inherited the Quick from Yuha. The Quick allows to enhance the rate in which things occur. The power can be used on many things, but Mr. Savon commonly uses it to enhance his own body. So basically, he can use this. The best way for me to describe this is he's not accelerating himself in terms of speed. He's like, that pot of water on the oven will take this long to boil. Like, okay, well, I can increase the rates. Like, well, I can decrease the rate it does that. So it'll boil sooner than that. He can speed up, you know, anything. So, like, you know, boiling water, he can increase the rate of that. You know, that kind of quick. And then he basically combines the Quick with his own, like, muscles and stuff, and glute vein, glute artery, whatever. So he names his techniques, too. He's like, Art of the Flying Strike. By enhancing his limbs with glute vein and using his power of quickness to enhance the quick twitch muscles in his body, Ferdinand can create projectiles out of his strikes that fly at a considerable distance. And then he has unshakable defense by enhancing his optic nerves, quick twitch muscles, and enhancing the motor functions in the area of his brain. Mr. Savon can deflect physical attacks at a speed greater than human eye can follow. So he basically increases his reaction time that his body can, like, do things. That kind of quick. He can use this quickness on his immune system to recover half as fast. Increase his power and, like, increase the number that his antibodies and cells reproduce, like mitosis occurs. He can increase the rate of that. And he has a berserk mode, because everybody needs a berserk mode. You can probably figure what a berserk mode does. He hulks out. All right, where are we at, guys? I should probably plug my laptop in. That's how far we're 2 hours into this. 2 hours in, but we're getting there, guys. We're getting there. We're almost done. We got 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh my God, We got 9 left. We're down to single digits. Woo! Single digits. If I can plug my freaking laptop in. You know, back in the day, I used to do live streams for 3 hours long as a standard. I can't imagine doing that now because this is 2 hours, and this is already the length of a standard live stream, and we're already down to this point. I think I need another hat. I don't even know why did I take my Mudkip hat off? I don't know. We better hurry this along. I'm running out of goofy hats. All right, so let me just check the comment section there. Hold on, let me, before we continue, I just want to adjust something really quick. There's no thumbnail on my video for this. I just want to add. I did make one for it. I just never got around to, for some reason, like, when I set up the stream, it wouldn't let me do a custom thumbnail for that one video where the countdown was on. I don't know why it wouldn't let me do that. But I have one ready, so let me just see if I can throw it in there so I can have a cool thumbnail. And then we will continue. Has to wait for X. Sigh. Been here since 14 minutes in. Tekking, how long is this? Guys, as long as it takes till I get done. I'm going to get done to Z, and then I have to go through the letter, and I have to go through the winners of the contest, and then we'll be done. Although the winners of the contest won't take very long. That'll take me just a couple minutes just to give you, like, you know, 5th through 1st prize, best drawing. You know, that won't take very long. Not at all. I don't think I can do the custom thumbnail yet. Nope. I guess I can't do that until the video is uploaded. All right, well, we'll worry about that when the time comes, I suppose. Okay. Let me X out of this. I don't need that open anymore. All right, are we good? Come on. I'm frozen. Don't freeze me, dude. Don't freeze me in space time. No, seriously, don't freeze on me. I will fucking kill you. I will find the manufacturer of this computer, and I will literally stab you in the brain. That isn't good. Okay, okay, we're back. That might have just been on my end. I don't know. Anyway, moving along. Moving right along. Okay, R. All right, R. R is the you know how, like, Kenpachi Zaraki is the guy in the Gotei 13 that's all about, you know, killing and death and stuff like that. Well, I figured we needed one of those for the Sternritter, and we kind of got a guy very similar to that, and that's not a psychopath. So here we go. This is sent in by DSX Stream 09, and oh wait, hold on. Yeah, he sent me. He's one of them that sent me like an addendum along with his regular design. Let me just. There it is. Okay, DSX Stream 09. He sent me in Sternritter R, the Reaper, or the Reap. I guess just the Reaper would be fine. I don't think he gave him a name. He sent me 2 emails. So let me just look back and forth between these 2 versions. Yeah, he has a name. Okay, his name is Eric Coertig. Coertig. Okay. All right, and basically, his ability. Okay. Physical appearance. My custom Sternritter R is a human male. He is rather young male in his early to mid-20s with a lean, well-toned build, long black hair, and icy blue eyes. His attire consists of a normal Sternritter outfit, a long cloak with a hood, and a skull-like mask, similar to humans that shows his eyes. Also, because he doesn't fit anywhere else, yes, he does have a Volt standing. He's sympathetic toward others because of his past involving lost loved ones. However, he seems somebody suffering. They don't like much of a chance of saving. He'll ask what they want and end their suffering promptly. And goes, so he says yes. So get to his power here. Which, by the way, the Reap, he wields a scythe blade, which that's pretty. I mean, you see a guy with a scythe blade coming at you. That's pretty foreboding. As stated before, he has the power of the Reap, which might seem like it explains itself based on word association or his appearance. Yeah, if I was seeing a guy with a skull mask walking toward me with a scythe, I would kind of take some conclusions there. Most of which being that I'm about to fucking die and I should probably get the hell out of here. However, the power of the Reap does not instantly destroy souls cut by his scythe. Instead, upon using the Reap, my Sternritter is able to receive... So he's reaping certain elements from his opponents. So if he cuts them with a scythe, he's not outright killing them. He's reaping the knowledge, the information, memories of his foes, as well as the word reap can mean to receive something based on an action. By being attacked and flat out destroy his foes, knowledge and memories by attacking them, which could come in use against Shinigami by making them forget their abilities of their Zanpakutos. Aha! So he cuts Ichigo and he could be like, I've reaped your knowledge of Zangetsu. I'm like, shit, I don't know how to use Zangetsu. He can also target the Zanpakuto spirits themselves and do the same. Okay, that's getting more into something else. He can cut an Ahuja hollow, and because they need to have awareness, they'll go back to being Gillions because he's reaping the memories from them. So kind of reaping in a different sense, although I'm going to look at this addendum email, but even if it isn't mentioned here, I'm sure he could just cut a bitch with the scythe blade anyway. Oh no, this is just a backstory. Yes, he does, in fact, know how to use Blute Vein, and he has a huge level of mastery over it. A second thing I never mentioned was the one attack from the Reap that wasn't just passive. That would be Erntent Klingen, literally translates to Reaping Blades. Erntent Klingen is an attack given to him by the ability of the Reap that allows him to send large blades made of reishi dashing along the ground. Oh my god, I had the idea for this character like back in high school, where, you know, he stabs the ground with his scythe and like shadow scythes, you know, move around and cut his opponent, you know, something like that. The maximum amount of blades being 6. Okay, so yeah, he does have an offensive attack that can shred you pretty damn spiffy. So that's the Reap. Okay, S. Yes. Now, I don't know if it's because... Wait. Okay, now this person sent me in 2-2. Okay. Now, look. Here's the thing about S. I don't know if it's because I want another hour of this. Why? S had 49 entries. 49. Now, I didn't go through all of them in one setting because I probably would have go fucking insane. I went through them in, like, I think 3... Yeah, I think it was 3 sessions. But it was just the S I went through. Like, I would go over the S one session, and then I would go, you know, more to the S next session. Like, I didn't go to other letters. I stayed on the S. So maybe it's just, you could chalk it up to I was just subjected to so many S's, you know, S-ception for such a long period of time. Like, basically an entire day focused on the S's. That I came out with this one. You might be a little bit confused, like, all the S's out there and you picked this ability? This ability is kind of out there. It's, trust me, it's unique. It's very unique. So here we go. This is Sternritter S, sent in by Kendra Camu, C-A-M-E-A-U. Her Sternritter name is Aya Hers. Aya meaning is Japanese for colorful. Hers is German for heart. So I guess her dad was German and her mom was Japanese. Okay. She is Sternritter S, the stained glass. Just going to give you a second to cope with that, to process what I meant by that. The stained glass, like you'd see in a church. This is one of the more unique abilities. Anything Aya touches with her left, she's 15, by the way. Anything Aya touches with her left hand turns into glass. Anything she touches with her right hand changes to the color she calls out. For example, if she touches a sword with her left hand, the sword will become glass. If she touches the now glass sword with her right hand and says red, the glass will turn red, essentially creating a stained glass sword. Her powers have no effect on herself, so she usually wears gloves around her so she doesn't touch anything, you know, doesn't want to accidentally turn it away. She must have direct contact with the object. If she's touching a person's clothes, like my shirt, and tries to turn it into blue glass, then it will not turn into blue glass. I mean, myself will not turn, my shirt will, which would be a very uncomfortable shirt. She is very childish. She loves breaking glass, usually with her heels. She asks her opponent what their favorite color is, and then she says her favorite color is purple. She will refuse to fight them. However, because that's her favorite color, kind of like Rurio Kujaku has a favorite color. So she's like, "Oh, your favorite color is purple. I'm not going to fight you." However, she will fight them if another Sternritter tells them to. This is because she sees the other Sternritters as superiors that she needs to impress. Now, I see this as funny because she doesn't mention the Sternritters by name. She mentions them by letter. So a Sternritter that she always follows the orders of is Sternritter K, no matter what, because K is her favorite letter, which is funny in the context of this contest because K is the knight. And he can give out the orders like, Aya Hearse, go and fight this man. He's like, yes, I will, because I like the letter K. So now you can imagine the knight with this little 15-year-old girl like his squire, you know. Can women be squires? I don't think they could. But whatever, it's 2014. You know, it's progressive time. Women can be knights now. Korra and Asami are lesbians. Why did I say that? I just opened up a whole new can of worms with that. Yes, they are. They're romantically... Sorry to spoil... Yes, they are. No, they're probably just best friends. No, they are. Trust me, they are. I might make a whole other video talking about how they are, but not right now. In contrast, she will never follow the orders of Sternritter G because she hates how the letter sounds. So now we have the gravity going around, you know. We're being rejected by her, basically. That'd be funny if the G had, like, I don't know, she's 15. I was going to say maybe, like, the G is interested in her, but I don't know. I forget how old was G. Does it say? Maybe we could do, like, some Sternritter matchmaking in heaven here. He's 24, she's 15. Yeah, I don't think that would work out too well with her parents. You know what I'm saying? All right, well, let's get to her power here. Wait, hold on. Oh, okay, appearance. Sorry, appearance. Aya has purple... Yeah, she has a picture here I'm going to show you. Aya has purple eyes, straight black hair that reaches her back. She is wearing a shortened version of the Sternritter coat with light blue turtleneck underneath. She has a white miniskirt with a light blue hem. Her shoes are made of solid steel so that she can break a glass easier. And I'm assuming that she can't get cut by glass, I'm assuming. I was thinking like each color of the glass did something unique. That was another Sternritter I was thinking of. Not the same thing with glass, but with, what was it? With, something with, no, it was R for, okay, that was the other contender for R that I was going to do aside from the Reap. And I thought the Reap was cooler because Reap's like actual power, like emotions from you. The other contender for the Reap was the Rainbow. And they had powers based on colors. So I'm guessing, so Aya, her's ability is just converting to glass. And I guess the stained glass is just for aesthetics. But still, you know, pretty scary attack. You know, think of like, think of in One Piece, there's a character, he was a Marine. He had the rust fruit. And he only appeared for very briefly, but he was able to take out one of Zoro's swords. Like this Zero Note character was able to completely rust and destroy Zoro's like one of his main swords. So I think it's something like that. Like show up out of nowhere, touch your sword, Zanpakuto turns into glass and like shh. Yes. So there is Sternritter S. I might have been slightly high when I picked that. T. Okay, T is somewhat long. You'll like this one. T's cool. I'll try to read the comments again. You're the best around. We're almost done with this now. Okay. That's 7 more. Yeah. Taste the rainbow, motherfucker. Okay. So, Sternritter T, sent in by Yami. Wait, hold on. Let me see if I can send. Okay. Yami Tori Soke. And the Sternritter is Sternritter T, The Twilight. No, not the movie. This isn't where the vampire comes in. People. Okay. T for The Twilight. Claramond Amsel. The Twilight is age 21, female. Claramond has waist-length black hair with white highlights. Does we have a picture for this one? No, we do not. She's about 5'10", with pale skin, dark purple eyes. She wears traditional Sternritter uniform wore as a cape. She wears black and white clothing with combat boots. She wears the Quincy cap tilted off to the side, kind of like Candace Catnip does, I guess. She carries a German cavalry sword on her hip. She's OCD, insomniac, gnaws at the base of her thumb often, and she loves birds. I love birds too, not as much as bugs. She has a little bit of backstory. Her parents were killed by Shinigami. That's sad. So because she's the Twilight, it allows her to manipulate light, darkness, and anything in between. It also allows freedom manipulation of said elements. The user can solidify darkness, light, and shadows at will. The user can use hyper-compress said elements. The user can create new abilities if they are adept at the ability enough. So her abilities. So she has a shadow-based ability, a light-based ability, and a dark-based ability. The light-based ability is Skrantenfugen, shadow puppets. The user can manifest and solidify shadow puppets to do their bidding along with simple weaponry. However, each puppet can only take about 1 or 2 hits before scattering. Her light ability is Heilig Light. Heilig Licht. Spit all over my laptop. The Holy Light. The user condenses the photons and reishi in the air, firing the rays at size. She's got a laser, basically. The user may also emit light from their bodies to blind a target. So she can blind people. So she's got the, she has a laser, you know, like, you know, gathering, charging together, hyper beam, firing my laser, boom. And her darkness ability is Gultalisin Firentris, the Wicked Darkness. The user creates negative photons using their Ryatsu and mixing it with reishi in the air. The user can create orbs of darkness with gravitational properties. The bigger the ball, the higher the gravity. The user can also create an aura of darkness around the light. So, you know, you say, like, with the gravity, well, that's already a power. Well, yeah, but, you know, look at the Sternritters. Like, freaking, you know, Giselle Guel can make zombies, you know, puppets to her will, and so can Pepe to a degree. So, you know, there's that. A crossbow made of reishi, that's her weapon. Her volt standing is Kamigami no Tasugare, Twilight of the Gods. Claramond dons a set of feathery wings, one of them black as night, the other one bright as the sun. And she dons a halo that shifts from pure darkness to shining light, depending on what ability she's using. One ability is Cast the Shadow of God. The user can manipulate shadows and control them. The user may also bind someone to their shadow, therefore making people puppets. Okay, you're kind of taking a, shadow possession jutsu there. God's Nova. That's a cool name. God's Nova. The user condenses photons into an area and creates a bomb that explodes in searing light. They can also generate so bigger lasers, basically. And then God's Black Hole. I love that. God's Schwarzloch. The user can use super condensed reishi and negative photons to make orbs of darkness that have strong gravitational properties. The user can cut rifts in the air to create short-lived mini black holes. See, yes, I had 2 Sternritters on my list that can make a fucking black hole. Do you have those 2 Sternritters that can make a black hole? Because I do. Take that. Yeah, I threw the Twilight in there because we had abilities for like the light, the dark. I thought it would be this. This is the only one I saw that actually condensed them all into one ability, and named it the Twilight, which makes sense. It's, you know, in between light and darkness, or like the dusk would work as well. You know, something like in between light and dark. Okay, you. This one has an image. Let me see if I can make it bigger. Make it bigger. Okay, I can make it bigger, but it kind of blurs the text a little bit, but that's okay. I'll just read the text for you. Sternritter U is sent by Elizabeth Frey. U for the Utopian. Oh, God. Freaking names, man. Dientlin Die Weber, which it's German, so I'm just going to say Weber. She's female. She's human. Wait, what? Go back. Okay, Daiveva, as her power suggests, spends most of her time with her head in the clouds. For the most part, she seems very relaxed, gentle, and easily distracted. In a way, she acts almost as a maternal figure, and most of the other Sternritters are fond of her. However, this sweet persona hides something far sinister. She believes that everyone suffers because of their deepest desires and the things they have lost. By using her powers to kill them, she is setting them free using this pain and becoming an angel of mercy. So, you know, she believes basically, like, even if you're really happy around her, she's like, well, you're suffering on the inside, so I'm going to kill you. She honestly believes that she's doing the right thing, and so she cannot be reasoned with. Let's see. It's the ability to trap her targets in visions of their greatest desires. This ability can be used on the same person 3 times. If they succumb to their dreams for even a moment, they will experience side effects. Their moments in their mental facilities will be dull. The second time, their organs will be shut down, and the third time, they will die. Forever trapped in this dreamscape of their minds. So the utopian basically creates your best desires. And yes, I know there's other characters that do that, but I have one in my Sternritter, so pfft. And I'll show you a picture of her. Hold on. I hate this. I absolutely hate this Windows 8 interface. I don't like it at all. Hate it. I just want to. Okay, I have a picture that's tabbed. I just want to open up the tab and view the picture, but I can't do that. It makes me navigate through all these little buttons and shit, and I don't want to do that. Just keep it a folder. Was a folder too fucking difficult? No, that's something else. Windows 8 shit. The touch screen's nice, but make things way too difficult. Okay, so this is Delinte Daiveva. Dientalind, I guess I should say. So she's blonde. She's got like a frilly dress sort of deal, long curly hair, wavy hair, I guess. Very motherly, angelic kind of character. Okay. Final stretch, guys. Never thought I'd make it this far sane. Final row. We got 5 more. 5 more. The PDF attachment. Now, like the Lunar, this one is very long. So I'm only going to read a little bit of it. But it's a long one. It's like whenever you design them based off of fictional characters, you have a huge backstory. Okay, so this is, as I've already stated, this is Sternritter V, the Vampire. It was sent in by AYTGH. Anyway, the Vampire, and her name is Gabrielle Gestelik. However, her full name is Kathy Gabrielle Elfrey Genstelik, usually referred to as Gabrielle Genstelik. Nicknames are Gabby, Kathy, Frida, and Sexy by Pepe. Because Pepe is love, you know, you get it. Okay, so yeah. Gender, female, comma, definitely. So, the power of the vampire. Well, the same thing with the werewolf. You could pretty much assume where this is going. Fangs, shit like that. Funny story. Not the only vampire entry I received. There was actually, I think, another one. That might have actually been two. No, I think there was just one more. But this one went way more into it. Fangs, Ryatsu, extinguishing, ability absorption, enhanced cellular memory, transmitting information between different types of memories. Muscle memory, like you bite somebody, you get the memories. You know, typical vampire shit. It's the year 2014. There's been a shit ton of vampire fiction. You don't need to explain every single vampire fiction. However, all the strengths and weaknesses of vampires and succubi, except, now here's the thing with this. Do you know how many ways you can kill a vampire? They're actually much easier to kill than a regular human being. You can kill them by sunlight, because sunlight's such a rare thing to find. You can kill them by running water. You can kill them by holy water. You can kill them by throwing, you can't invite them into your house. I mean, they can't come in your house unless you invite them. You can kill them by a wooden stake. You can kill them by crosses. Can't come near a cross. So there's a shit ton of things you could do about vampires, especially if you actually delve into their lore. Garlic, of course. They have to sleep in the soil of their holy ground. So they went in and they said all the stuff that affects vampires and succubi affects her, except for crucifixes, holy water, garlic, running water, earthly silver, sunlight, which is unless she put that in there, they'd be like, Ichigo would be like, I'm the vampire. You can't beat me, Ichigo Kurosaki. Here's some garlic, bitch. Oh, fuck no! Yeah, so, yeah, there's that. She can turn other people into vampires, typical way. Spirit weapon. A Quincy crucifix with Yuha replacing Jesus on the cross. Picture a crucifix. Yuha is Jesus. Highly Paphile. She has other ranged weaponry. She has a sword. She has a siring beam from her spirit weapon. Gigantic siring beam. Puts the medallion behind her spirit weapon and creates a giant version of their combined image that shoots down that turns everyone caught in the radius into minions. So she has a brainwashing beam with her demonic hex vision. A combination of Candace Catnip's personality and Bambietta's personality. So basically fucking insane. That's what we're going to go with there. Because Candace was a little bit unstable, and Bambietta was much unstable, so you get really unstable when you combine that together. She's a femme fatale who hides her evil side better than most other Sternritters, and just as dangerous or maybe even more than Yoruichi Shihoin. She has a Volt standing beyond a Volt standing, which like a second release Volt standing, which why not? She's already a vampire. She's already a mythological creature, so why not? Volt standing Zweit Stuff. The second stage Volt standing removes all weaknesses except staking and decapitation. So at least you can still kill her. She still says you can kill her. Drinking either human or Shinigami blood, absorbing the Ryatsu, grants her with temporary immunity to death by holification. Okay. It goes into detail. Now this is like ripping off Rosero plus vampire, but this is basically appearance changes when she becomes a vampire. Eyes become smaller, body becomes leaner and even sexier, breasts become larger, eyes disappear in Volt standing 2. Okay. Yeah, I always hated that. If you've ever read the manga of Rosero plus vampire, it's like way better because whenever Mocha turns into a vampire, it's like, yeah, it's very apparent. Like her eyes are different. Her hair becomes white. Her body might change a little bit. She gets a little bit taller. But in the anime, they fan service the shit out of that scene. It's basically like she's a transformer. It's like you even like her like a dark Sailor Moon, better than a transformer. She's like a dark version of Sailor Moon, where the bats come down and surround her. Her hair flies up in the air and turns silver. And then you see like you could see down her chest, and it's just like you hear this like as her boobs get bigger. Same effect for when her ass her hips get wider. So freaking ridiculous. But here, I guess it's okay. Yuha found her in a ditch next to an abandoned battlefield in the 17th century after she was raped and beaten by a rank and file Shinigami. Oh God, okay. She suffered from porphyria, hemophilia, tuberculosis, and onset of okay, so hemophilia, which when you get the the like Asnot had the fear of death, and when Yuha did that. Oh my God. Okay, now you might be thinking she's overpowered, but I think the guy writing this noticed this, and he wrote down how she dies, her fate. Attempts to drink the blood of Ichigo, Kenpachi, and the other special war potentials, so one of them kills her after she fails to damage with the combined power of a Volt Standing's White Stuff and the Stolen Bangai. So she is devoured by her own Volt Standing, basically, after she's killed by Ichigo and Kenpachi. So Ichigo and Kenpachi had to team up to kill her. So now you can picture Ichigo going all vampire hunter on her. There is an image here. It's also, I think, a rough sketch. There she is. Well, you can barely see that. Hold on, let me really turn down the brightness on that one. There you go. Rough sketch, but there you are. Okay, red hair. Les Vampires. Okay. 4 more comments. Insert Hellsing Twilight joke here. Praise the sun! I'm guessing the vampire doesn't get along with werewolves. I don't know. Maybe someone should write a fan fiction about that, how the lunar and the vampire get together. I don't know. I don't know. Kubo, why couldn't you think of all this stuff? I'm pretty sure if he thought of all this stuff, the series would be over already. Like, long ago. You know what the stream needs? Popcorn. Yeah, I would go get some, but no. Okay, guys, 4 more left. We can do this. 9:30. We're 2.5 hours. Just trying to get this done by 10. Aiming to get this done in another half hour. So 3-hour stream. 3-hour stream, baby. Okay. Now, with Sternritter W, the winner of the best drawing contest was Sternritter W. So I will show you that design at the very end. But as I stated, you can't win both. The best design, wins for best design. They don't win for best design of Sternritter, although I will go over that Sternritter when I go through the best drawing. So we have that set aside. And the winner of the best, in terms of W, just general W, is sent in by Austin Parks. Sternritter W, the Warlord. Okay. His name is Sieg Cannon, meaning victory cannon. Oh, I know. This is not... Okay, he doesn't have a name. Okay, this is just the name of an attack. Okay. Sieg Cannon, victory cannon. A giant cannon forms around Sternritter W's arms. The attack is similar to Samus's final smash attack. I've never played Metroid. This uses a lot of Reishi, so Balder can... Wait, hold on. They might have sent me double of this. Hold on. I might be missing an email here. Either that or he forgot to send me in... Hold on, let me just do a search for this, because this sounds like half of a power. Yes, it is. Okay, sorry about that. I did put it in there. Okay, here we go. Austin Park, send me in. Okay. Sternritter W, the Warlord. Balder Blitzkrieg. Another kick-ass name. Balder Blitzkrieg. He wears weapons and is a combat expert in the military before discovering his Quincy powers. He's tall, muscular, African-American male. See, I have black guys in my army. He's bald with long scar covering his right eye and wears a camouflage version of the Sternritter outfit. Camo version of Sternritter outfit. That's cool. He's very coffee. He's very cocky. He has successfully killed lower-level class Soul Reapers without breaking a sweat. Even though he has a tendency to underestimate his opponents, he never opens himself up to attacks. His military background makes him a master strategist. He is very cunning despite his cocky attitude. He is a walking arsenal with the ability to He is a walking arsenal with the ability to... Hold on. I think it's a typo here. Oh, he's a walking arsenal with the ability to grant whatever weapon he wants out of Reishi or craft, or it was, something else. Unlike most Quincy, who use bows and arrows based weapons, well, he prefers to create firearms, rocket launchers, mines, and other military-style weapons out of Reishi. So yeah, he's basically a Reishi. He's basically a Quincy commando, or a Quincy Arnold Schwarzenegger, as it were. His wings are in the shape of fighter jet wings. When he is in Volt Standing, he creates Reishi bombs and rockets to drop on his enemies from above. His Volt Standing also increases his firepower tenfold. He has military experience, obviously, so he knows how to fight. Due to his large size, he isn't very mobile. An average user of Shumpo would be able to maneuver around him quite easily. Okay, so that's a weakness right there. He calls out the name of a weapon, and it makes out of Reishi, and it drops from the air to his arm. So it's basically like, ah, shit, M16! I think a fight between Balder and Captain Soifeng would be awesome. She would be able to dodge most of his attacks, but he'd have to keep his distance because of her power. There might be a few manga reviewers better than you, but no one does Bleach reviews the better as you are. Well, I only do Bleach, so I don't care if there's... Oh, man, I messed up Mudkip. No. I don't care if there's anyone better than me. I only do Bleach, and that's what I'm sticking to. All right, that was W. One of the W's. Okay. 3 more. 3 more. We're almost done. Oh, comments. By the way, I should mention, let's say I email one of the winners and they don't respond to me in, like, let's say a week. I'll give them a week to respond. If they don't respond within a week, I will pick another winner for that prize. I won't make a video about it. I'll just email you. I'll say, hey, this guy, you know, he won, but he didn't reply to me, so I can't send him the letter. I can't send it to him, so you can accept it then, because you have to accept it. I'm going to send you an email from the email you sent me from, and then like when you sent your design, I'll send you an email if you win, and then you have to reply to me, and because I'm going to ask you some questions and shit, and you know. Have you played Dark Souls? No. Balder Blitzkrieg. Give this guy an award. He has officially won the most badass name in my eyes. Holy crap, I'm playing Samish right now on Smash while listening to this. Kenpachi Ichigo confirmed. All right. 3 left. Now, with X was, of course, an exception to the rule. Y ended up being 2 as well, and we'll get to Y in a second. But with Sternritter X, because there's so little options for X, I didn't actually... I said you could go free range with it. As long as the word had X in front of it, as long as it made sense, you could do it. So I got some stuff like the X-Stream or the X... I didn't get the X-Terminator. That was an example I used. But the winner of this is a fellow YouTuber. At least last time I checked, he was still making videos. I'm not sure if he still does. Garinu Kame. Sternritter X. The Zyl. Z-Y-L-Y-L. It sounds like a nonsense word. It's an element. It's a chemical. And we'll get to this. And the name is Adelaide Gottschalk. Adelaide is a very quiet person. She often keeps to herself and likes to work by herself. She can be quite cold toward her allies. I'm assuming she's like a chemist. You'll see in a second. Even though she may not show it, she has great respect for her superiors. The only time her quietness and coldness can be broken is when she sees something cute like a kitten or a puppy. Puppies do have that effect on people. Her hair changes to red when she's in cute mode. She sees something cute. She has no effect on her power, though. Okay, so her hair just anime quirk. Whenever she sees something cute, her hair turns red. Adelaide has the power to control Zyl bromide, which is a poisonous organic compound. Just the fact that he looked deep enough into this to find a compound with X in front of it that has all these unique abilities is cool. The power can be used for various things, some of which cause damage, some of which give staggering effects. However, she has a strong weakness to ice, as Zyl bromide freezes when it's too cold. Okay, so Hitsugaya could screw her over. Techniques. She has a technique called... So she has 3 techniques. Well, actually, no, hold on. She has... Okay, so she has like a technique that she can use when it's in its gaseous form, when it's in its liquid form, and it's when it's in... she has a liquid form, gas form, one form where she just uses the aroma of it, and another form where she uses it as an explosive. So Duft is the ability she uses the pleasant aromatic odor. Adelaide can use this to her advantage to attract people to her battlefield. Too much exposure to the scent could cause nausea. So yeah, I guess it smells good, but if you get too close to it, it'll like make you nauseous. Giftig is when Adelaide uses Zyl bromide in its liquid form. It instantly melts anything it touches, be it skin, rock, metal, anything as long as it's solid object. The only exception is ice. Not melt in the sense of like melting like water. Melting is in like acidic melting. Giftig will freeze on impact with ice. Shireen. Shireen is when Adelaide uses Zyl bromide in its gas form. While not physically harmful, it can cause temporary blindness, irritation of the eyes, mouth, lungs, and gas. It's basically like smoke, a gas, you know, irritates you. This can last for up to 30 minutes. It's like a tear gas. So maybe if she just like, oh shit, we got to get out of here. Gas, you know, tear gas grenade, whatever.
And then she has 5K Wutubrush, is when Adelaide uses bromide as an explosive. She can create up to 5,000 small explosions. One of these explosions isn't enough to harm anyone, but a few hundred could deal some heavy damage. I'm guessing these are explosions on like the microscopic level. Shrapnel can emerge, which can further the damage. Her volt standing is Tears of God. The wings take the appearance of a smoke cloud that emit the aroma ability, so she has to use it no matter, like the odor ability that just emits from her now. She has Giftig armor. She coats her body with the Giftig ability with the liquid, so it melts anything that, acid armor basically. 18K Wutubrush, essentially no different from 5K, except they're 18,000 like small microscopic explosions. And then she has Wisik Cruise, her ultimate attack. Adelaide plants 4 white crosses anywhere she likes, and anything between those 4 crosses will be hit by an explosion that remains on the insides or enveloped with acid. So even if you survive the initial explosion, your insides get covered with acid, so you're pretty much fucked anyway. However, this will not last forever. Anything she absorbs will disappear within 30 minutes. So she can absorb into it, but it'll disappear after a while. Okay. Here's an image of her. Adelaide. Little Adelaide. So we have Lily Barrow in the series, but here we just have a cute girl. That hair changed color when she sees something cute. Okay. I keep doing that. I keep Xing out of the page I'm looking at these on. Two left. All good things must come to an end. Let me just look through the comments really quick here. 569 comments. The comments have transcended the number of entries. I wonder what if Russia knew this element exists. Yes, I got the entry of the xylophone. Yeah, I got your entry. Yes, I'm going to do the runners-up. I'm going to do an honorable mention video. Xylee. Oh, the Z. Okay, I see. Okay. Now, with Y, I only got 2 entries for Y. Yeah, 2 entries for Y. And for that reason, I decided to bend the rules a little bit for this one just because we only had 2 entries. So you can't really say something like, that's unfair. We only got 2 entries, okay? Just 2. One of the entries had a Japanese name, and I said you couldn't do that. You had to make an English name, but I figured it's only 2 entries. I could bend the rules for this one. So here we go. This one was sent in by CJ Waters. Sternritter Y, the Yuki Oni, the Snow Demon. She has mid-length black hair, silver eyes, attire consisting of a white hoodie and hood drawn under an open black trench coat with the Quincy cross stitch on the back. She's cold and reserved, keeping mostly to himself. I keep saying she. It was a guy the whole time. Sorry. And I'm thinking about Rukia when I think of snow-based powers, or Monet from One Piece. The only reason there is out of gratitude of you, okay, he is lazy and preferring to avoid fights. He uses the cover of a blizzard to catch opponents off guard, dislikes being too hot. The only time he has ever been seen truly angry since joining the Sternritters is when Basby insisted on calling him the Yuki Onna, Snow Woman. So I guess they had a very, he has a very girly type appearance. So yeah, you can pretty much see where this ability is going. Ability control over ice and snow. Claws made out of ice. Special attacks. Whiteout. Summoning a blizzard that reduces visibility to near 0 and attacks the near blind opponent with a barrage of strikes. So she could shoot out like icicles and shit. Frostbite if it manages to draw blood. Volt standing. The arms and coat become covered in ice. Eyes change from silver to bright blue. Takes on an overall more demonic appearance. And then the rest of this history. Born to a poor family in the country in the far north. Basically, Snow's family was on the run. Oh, the name is Snow. The actual name is Snow, which I'm sure. Have you played Final Fantasy 13? Because I'm pretty sure if you haven't, then you need to play that game, and you're going to laugh hysterically because one of the main characters is just named Snow.
A dark figure emerged and, granted, it's Yuha and gave him the power. Yeah. He was almost killed by the guards, but then a loud laughing and then clapping was heard. Basically, Yuha saved him. Okay. So, like I said, there's only 2 entries for the Y, so not much to really go with here. The other entry was the Yell, which I thought was too similar to Jerome Geisbach's Roar ability. So that was the other entry. Okay, where's Z at? Please tell me I remember to put Z on here. Yeah, here's Z. Okay! We're here. I died. Okay. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this. This was fun. Okay. Getting emotional. Craig Ferguson, he hosts the Late Late Show on CBS. It's his last show tonight, too, so I'm very emotional in a number of ways. Anyway, here we go. Sternritter Z by Manel. The entry is Sternritter Z, The Zone. I don't think they gave it a name. I think so. Sternritter Z is a sadistic and narcissistic individual who believes that the weak exist only for tools for the strong. He himself is someone lazy. He quite enjoys taunting his victims' opponents, but sometimes gives them a chance to retreat or surrender. He also believes in rules and authority, but refuses to intimidate those. He refused to be intimidated by those who thinks they deserve respect when they don't. He's very confident in his abilities. He's 5'10", shorter than me. Wait, no, 5'10", taller than me. He's male. He's quite lean and wiry. Wears a variation of the Sternritter standard uniform, a sleeveless shirt, and has 3 armbands on his left arm, and wears black fingerless gloves. He keeps a black powder horn clipped to his belt. His preferred reishi weapon is a sniper rifle. Hey, if you can go to the store and pick up a fucking, sniper rifle, then go do it, man. So, Sternritter Z has the power of the zone. He can create zones around himself or other objects. Z can make specified zones around himself, and he can activate or deactivate these zones at will, but he cannot move among them. Zone number 1, the kill zone, is a 4-foot radius surrounding the user, the smallest zone. Enemies who enter can only be killed with the user's bare hands or vice versa. The user cannot leave this space while other personal zones are occupied. This zone is usually kept active and moves with the user. He prefers to switch to long-range combat when in this zone. When this zone is deactivated, is the time when he can use his weapon. So it's basically like a strategist kind of Sternritter that stands in one spot and just he controls his zones like he's the dungeon master, and he just controls it basically. Zone 2. The zone is a little bit they get successively wider. Obviously, the more you get out. This zone is influenced by the Sternritter's thoughts. He can devise combat challenges and tangible illusions, hoping to sap the energy's physical and mental strength, usually until death. However, when given the chance, he can choose to safely retreat from the zone. Sternritter, Zone 3 is anything that's rubble, projectiles, wind, or people coming towards Sternritter Z will be pulled into this zone, as it's a pocket dimension. The zone is bleak and empty, so basically it's Tsukuyomi or Kamui, basically. So basically you can't stand at a distance like, oh, his power's the zone. I'll sniper rifle this guy from a distance. He gets sucked into this little pocket dimension here. To make zones around an object, he must mark the area with drops of blood. So right away, he can't just, set this all up. He has to have prior knowledge to setting this up. For tournament fighting, that would be okay. But for an ultimate bloody melee, he'd be screwed. He usually lures weaker people into the kill zone where he can get blood. It doesn't have to be his blood. It just has to be blood. And he stores it in the powder horn. The custom zones that he arranged in Sternritter case. I think that's everything. Yeah. Zones cannot be set up around people in order to harm them, since he can only make protective zones around other people. Oh, so he can make little protective bubbles around his allies. Okay, but he can't make something that, he can't make a kill zone around his ally. I get it. Okay. Wait, no, we're not done yet. Okay, so that's it, though, for the contest. That's for the 26 centuries. I'm done. Kind of, sort of, not really. Let me just... Ah, my God. We made it, guys. Fucking made it. Flying high now. I'm just getting the picture ready to show you guys here. Okay. That was tough. That was about 3 hours. Got 10 minutes left. All right. So those were the 26 entries. The Awakening, the Blood, the Conqueror, the Dimension, the Entropy, the Friction, the Gravity, the Hive Mind, the Injection, the Journey. Wait, I'll just go down this list here. The Night. L. What was L? The Lunar, the Mistake, the Nature, the Omnidirectional, the Psychopath, the Quick, the Reap, the Stained Glass, the Twilight, the Utopian, the Vampire. W was the Warlord. X was the Xylee Bromide. I know who that probably is not going to be. Y was the Yuki Oni, and Z was the Zone. So now, if you're still watching this, we're going to pick 6 winners of... After I check my text message. Okay. Hold on a second. I got to take care of business. I'll be right back. Ugh. Okay. I voted for you. Okay. So here we go. We have 6 prizes here. We have a 1st through 5th prize. 5th prize and 4th prize will both receive a choice. I put they can win a Bleach necklace, but there's some people that say they don't want the Bleach necklace. That's kind of like the consolation prize. So they can choose to either take the Bleach necklace or they can take a $5 Amazon gift card each. Okay, so there's that. 3rd prize will be a $10 Amazon gift card and a Bleach necklace. So once again, you can choose to either just take all cash, $15, or $10 in the Bleach necklace. 2nd prize will be $30 Amazon gift card, so $35, or the grand prize, $50, would be $55. I'm gonna go fucking broke after this. Actually, no, I do have, I can do this. Okay, and then the best drawing will win $20 Amazon gift card and a Bleach wristband. So there's that. So, with that all being said, I hope you shunja bitches are ready for this, because I know I am. You ready? You sure? Really? Truthfully? Soulfully? All right, well, first, let's do the best drawing. The best drawing was sent in by, she wanted me to go as Bunny-chan. Yeah. She's a designer on DeviantArt, and there's a few Bleach designers that are really good. I mentioned Zonpak Toe Leader earlier. Another one is Artenzo. She is Bunny Senpai on DeviantArt, and she did a design for Sternritter W, the Witch, as I previously stated. So this design is really fucking good, and I will show it to you. Actually, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to show you on my actual computer. This deserves a screenshot. Oh no! Don't freeze on me. Come on, buddy. We're almost done. We got like 10 minutes left. Come on. Okay, here we go. I think it just freaked out because I didn't do screenshot in so long. Okay, screenshot. Okay. So yeah, that's the best drawing. That's the witch. And you know, I actually received another one. It was for an entry for Sternritter H. Give me a second here. It was an entry for Sternritter H, and it was called The Heretic, and it was a drawing on par with that. But it was, and I got really like, oh, I might have to reconsider my decision. And I looked through it, and it was actually not drawn by the guy who did The Heretic. It was like a commission, or it was taken from something else. So I obviously couldn't have counted it. So yeah, that's her drawing, which, as you can see, is very well done. And she will receive the $20 Amazon gift card and the Bleach wristband. So with that being said, now we can move to the winners. Our winners here. Where is my list? I have my list here. Okay, you guys ready for this shit? Okay, here we go. 5th place.
Threat has been detected.
Fuck you, Ava. 5th place. The winner of either a $5 gift card or the Bleach necklace is the Knight, which we should have figured that was going to be on the list because I freaking creamed my jeans when I read it. So the winner of that was the Knight. That would be, let me just find the name of you here. CCP Darkrai Rules. That is the winner. 5th place. 4th place, also $5 gift card or a necklace, is the Hive Mind. Patrick McGorman. They win the Hive Mind. So the Hive Mind and the Knight both win 5th place Knight, 4th place Hive Mind, $5 gift card or the necklace of your choice. Okay. Now, 3rd place. 3rd place, winner of the $10 Amazon gift card and the Bleach necklace or a $15 card, all told weighted, is going to be Sternritter M, the Mistake. Because, yeah, well, from Billy the Afro Man, which you're in here right now. I hope you're still in here right now. So congrats, man. You win 3rd prize. And I will email you tomorrow about all this. I'll email everybody about this tomorrow. After I get home from work and I rest for a little bit, I'll send out these emails. It might be 2 days from now, depending on your time zone. But trust me, I'll get it done by tomorrow. By 24 hours from now, I will have emailed you. Okay, 24 hours from this moment, you will get an email from me. Okay. So 2nd prize, winner of a $30 Amazon gift card and a Bleach necklace is, or the 35 total, will be Sternritter A for the Awakening. Like I said, I really enjoyed that design. Very unique to me. They went to the whole religious Buddhist design with it. This was made by Dark Beetlebot, a.k.a. Lucy. So congratulations for that. And 2nd prize. Yay. And now we come to the grand prize winner of the whole shebang, whole contest. That will be... Dun, dun, dun. Should we do a drum roll for this? I feel like we should do a drum roll. Want to do a drum roll? Drum rolls. All right. The winner of the $50 Amazon gift card, or, if you prefer, a $55 Amazon. Shit, how much money am I wasting on this? Hold on, I need to do the math here. Hey, step 1 before you do a contest, make sure you have money for the contest. I do have money. YouTube pays better than you might think. Plus I have a job. But just to make sure, I want to check everything here. So that's plus 25 plus 15 plus 10. Okay, that's all right. That's not that bad. That's not that bad. All right, I thought that sounds worse than that. I don't know. Okay, anyway, are you ready? Are you ready for this shit? I know I am. Ready for this shit. Okay, sorry. I'm gonna stop. Okay, I'm gonna stop stalling. Okay. I know what's going through everyone's head right now. Like, just fucking say it. Just fucking say it. I gotta manipulate. I am Sternritter M, the manipulator, the grand manipulator. Good water. Okay, here we go. Sternritter, the winner of the $50 grand prize. Sternritter P, the psychopath, the psychotic Deadpool Joker variant. That will be the winner. So there we go. I really enjoyed that guy's power. The drawing itself was really good.
Partly for that reason. Yeah, the drawing was really good. If you would have taken the time to, like, you said, like, that drawing wasn't that good. It was a really good hand drawing thing. If you would have taken the time to maybe ink that in and color it and maybe throw in a background or something, it would probably look on par with the winner. And the power itself is really cool. I like just the personality idea. I don't know if when you were designing it, you threw in the personality the way I'd interpreted it, but it turned out great. The idea, like, telekinetic power, like the telekinetic power wielded by a psychopath. That's beautiful. That's actually beautiful, you know? Like, he's like, hey, you think you can beat me? Let's have an arm wrestling match. And, like, shoves you to the other side of the freaking, you know, Seirete or some shit. So that's the winner of the $50 grand prize. That would be, oh, forgot your name. Probably should say your name. That's probably important. Da-da-da-da-da. Hans Landa was the name of the Sternritter, the psychopath. Alan Moore was the winner. Alan Moore. So, okay, I will send you everybody that won, I will send you an email on an email response from the email you sent me, and I'll tell you that you won. And like for example, with the third prize, I'll be like, okay, you won. I can either give you a $10 Amazon gift card, or I can give you a Bleach necklace, or I can give you the $15 Amazon gift card. Just bypass that if you don't prefer that. So there's that. Let me just check the comments before we clock out here. Once more, there will be a honorable mentions video. I do not know when that'll be up, but that will be up. There will also, in addition to that, there will be an art gallery video where I showcase all the art I received from the contest. That'll probably be a traditional video. I don't know when that'll be up. Hopefully I'll try to get it done before break ends, but I have another project for break I'm kind of really excited about. I'm really excited to film it and review this particular series. So I'm hoping for that to be up on Christmas Day to get that out. But if I have time, I'll try to pencil it in, certainly. So let me try to read these comments here. I'll just refresh the page here. Oh, that's beautiful. You know, I was supposed to have a co-host tonight. Nostradamus was supposed to be here and help me out with this. I sent him an email on Facebook, and I also sent him like 2 text messages. I'm like, hey, bro, are you going to do this or not? He never responded to me. So whatever, Nostro. Okay. I do have good timing. Yes, you certainly do. The storyteller. Yeah, I remember the storyteller. There goes Z, the Zodiac. You are actually not the only Zodiac, my friend. You were one of many Zodiacs for the Z. Yeah, I'll think about that. I'll think about putting them up on a... Well, see, here's the thing. They're not my property. They're not my designs. So I can send out a group email or something like, hey, would it be cool if I sent, if I put your entry on Google Drive so everyone could read through it? I'll definitely think about doing that. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So for now, I'm going to sign off because I'm, very tired. Throat is very rasp. But I am greatly appreciative that you guys all took the time to enter this. This was a pet project of mine. It was my 15,000 subscriber special. And the funny thing is, if I continue at the rate I'm doing right now, I'm probably going to hit 20,000 subs by early next year, like April next year. I should have 20,000 subs because I almost have 16.5 thousand now. And it's growing at a successive rate. So it's growing at about maybe like 1,000 subscribers every month or so. A little bit over a month, I get 1,000 subscribers. So that ratio trending, I should have 20K by next April. I'm going to try to make this an annual tradition. I'm going to try to do a big contest like this at least once a year. Well, yeah, once a year I'm going to try, because, I'm giving out money. It's something I can't just do whenever. But, it's something that I think I can give back to you guys for helping me out and helping me get this far. I truly appreciate it.
Remember, links are below to subscribe. I got my fan page. I got my Twitters. I got my Patreon if you want to donate. Got all that fun stuff. And yeah, there will be a mail time video where I open up some fan mail from you guys. That'll be on Christmas Eve. I'm going to upload that on Christmas Eve. I'm actually working Christmas Eve, but I can set it to upload. So hope you enjoy that. I have a special project on Christmas Day. I have to start filming that actually pretty soon. I might do that. Might do that on Monday. Maybe Monday or Sunday. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff I'm doing right now. So just make sure you keep watching. I'm gonna add the little time codes in this video so you guys can, you know, like skip to the letter that you want. I'm probably gonna do that mostly tomorrow. I have work tomorrow, so you know, it might not be, you know, my tomorrow, or it might, you know, take some time to upload all the time codes. But I'll try to make it easier on you guys to find the specific entry you're looking for. But anyway, yeah, Sternritter contest, the Quincy alphabet has concluded. Thank you for watching. This will be Tekking101 signing out. Merry Christmas, everyone. Merry Christmas. Oh, wait, hold on. I think I almost pushed a button I didn't want to push. Okay, stop broadcast. Okay, laters.